Phillies have fired manager Joe Girardi. The Phillies are 9.5 games in back of the Mets in the NL East. They've lost 7 of the last 10. And ESPN MLB insider Jeff Passan says that's an indication of many more problems.
The team's recent skid, which pushed Philadelphia to make the move and name bench coach Rob Thompson the interim manager for the rest of the season, exposed that the problems in Philadelphia go well beyond the manager's office and extend to a roster that's far too one-dimensional. With Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto, Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, and more, the Phillies have the talent to win still. But they've dug themselves a big hole, one they need to climb out of.
That's Jeff Passan on ESPN SportsCenter. Jeff also reports the Astros have signed Yordan Alvarez to a 6-year, $115 million contract extension. NHL Stanley Cup Eastern Conference Finals. Game 2 coming up, Madison Square Garden this evening. Rangers host Tampa Bay, leading the series 1-0. Coverage 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and, of course, on the ESPN app.
Is your summer staffing situation significantly scarce? Then you need Indeed. Their powerful all-in-one hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Want to find your next great hire? Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Oh, welcome, everybody. Welcome to AFR. No Matt Moscona today. I know there's somebody out there that's so excited about that, and as most of you are not. I'm Ronnie Rantz filling in for Matt, who's, I don't know what beach he's on, what exotic locale that he's on, but he's not here, and I am. And you know what we're going to do for the next 30 minutes while I'm in this chair, and then I'm going to hand off the baton like a 4x100 relay team for the rest of the day, and I'll tell you who all is going to be on the show. Much better guests than me, I might add. But the next 30 minutes is a lot of baseball talk. A lot of baseball talk. I can't promise it's all LSU. There might be some Rougarou in there. Just going to let you know, Rougarou Ron, they gave me the controls, or Rougaron, whatever it was that the Riot came up with. They gave me the controls. They should not have, with my opening day of our home game team being next Tuesday, June 7th, the Baton Rouge Rougarou in action. So needless to say, we'll have some shameless plugs. We'll tell you a little bit about that. But it is NCAA Regional Weekend. It is my favorite time of the year. I'm not a giant March Madness guy. Like it, enjoy it, I watch it, but this is my March Madness. And if you played college baseball and quite frankly, just turning 50 last week, I've kind of been a part of the growth of college baseball from as a player, and playing the old 6-team regional format when only 48 teams got in. That was the way it was until until 1999. They were 8 6-team regionals, double elimination. They would start on Thursday. They would end on Sunday, 3 games every day. I mean, it was awesome. And, I mean, you talk about some good teams. I mean, you send 6 teams to a regional, only 48 teams in the country get in. Those regionals were brutal. The top 3 seeds were just killer. But, went from that as a player, did some broadcasting, started the Jumbo Sports Network in 1998, did a 6-team regional on televised it in 1998, and then saw the transition in 99 from the regionals to the super regionals. And then, of course, now with ESPN and the SEC Network and the app taking over the world about 7 years ago, it is absolutely awesome. You can get on your ESPN app. You can watch every regional. They've got tons of coverage. And tonight is going to be an epic night if you're a college baseball fan in Louisiana, because all 4 teams are in action tonight at the same time. You got the Ragin' Cajuns over in College Station, Louisiana Tech over in Austin, Southeastern taking on Auburn over on the Plains, and then, of course, LSU and Hattiesburg. How many LSU fans will get in? That's going to be the question. Today on AFR, we've got to have a lot of guests for you. Of course, Musso and I will talk a little college baseball with you in the first 30 minutes. But then Taylor Sharp will jump in the big chair. He'll be with you till 5 o'clock running the show along with Musso. We'll have Chris Blair at 3:30 telling us hopefully who's going to pitch tonight. He'll be over in Hattiesburg. Charles Hanagriff, who has the kind of the historian of LSU baseball over the last 30, 40 years. Charlie had called many a game, many a World Series, many a regional. He'll kind of go back in the time machine chamber and tell you a little bit about what's about LSU baseball, past regionals, and maybe how this one compares. Doug Thompson will join us at 4 o'clock, the former national championship pitcher. He's on the call tonight with Chris Blair and Bill Franquez from Hattiesburg. We'll check in with Doug at 4. The Riot will be here for a couple of segments over at 4:15 and 4:30 on his way to Texas. And then at 5 o'clock, Sports Shorts jumps in here. Tommy Krysan will be in studio from 5 to 6. He'll be joined on the phone with Damon Sunde, the sports information director. Guy does a great job on the radio for Southeastern baseball. Remember, Tommy pitched at Southeastern a million years ago. The Lions are in a regional again. Damon Sunde has been there for years. He'll be on the call tonight on the radio. We'll talk to Damon live from Auburn, get an update on Tommy's Southeastern Lions. Also, 5:15, Buzzy Haydel, former 2009 national champion, will join us. And then at 5:30, Joel Davis, you never know what he's going to say. We'll talk probably a little Pelicans, probably a little Saints, probably nothing to do with college baseball because Joel, that's how he rolls. So that's your show, a plethora of guests, and that's what's coming up here on the next 3 hours on AFR. The big story, LSU baseball, who will pitch tonight? And Jay Johnson's playing coy, and I don't mind it. And here's why. I'm the old school get off the lawn guy for sure. I like to know on Wednesday who's going to pitch, and we can dissect and break down, every detail of the matchup and how lefty, righty, and all that stuff. I like all that stuff, and I wish that we knew, days ago who was going to pitch. But at the same time, the reality is if you take your selfishness off the table of just kind of wanting to be able to know, it doesn't make any sense to tell the other team. It's like in football. There's times when you don't have a clear starting quarterback and you're trying to figure out who's going to be the starting quarterback that week. There's times we don't know who the starter is until pregame warmups or the first series. Nobody freaks out about that because why? The other team has to prepare for 2 or 3 different quarterbacks, a runner, a passer, or whatever, and it makes practice longer and more difficult, and they can't key in on things. They've got to prepare for 2 or 3 different ways of being attacked. We don't have an issue with that. So why would we have an issue with Jay Johnson not announcing who his starting pitcher is going to be until he's legally obligated to do, which is 4:30 today? The NCAA says you have to, turn in your pitcher 90 minutes before the start of the game. So yes, Kennesaw State will know 90 minutes before who the starting pitcher is going to be, and I guess they can adjust or change things or whatever they want to. But the bottom line is that if you're Jay Johnson, why not? And because, look, outside of Mikhail Hilliard, there's not a clear-cut starter that you give the ball to and you feel really good about. Ty Floyd at the moment is, I would think, LSU's number 2 starter. Ty Floyd has been a much better the last 30 days. It really started in the UL Lafayette midweek start where he, in that game, threw 7 breaking balls in a row and proved that he could throw a curveball. And so ever since then, he's been the guy. But at the same time, I'm not hanging my hat on Ty Floyd. I'd rather hang my hat on Mikhail Hilliard as far as consistency and knowing when I'm going to get. So, yeah, Ty Floyd may be the best option outside of Mikhail, but outside of that, then what? So I would be stunned, shocked, and amazed if Jay Johnson doesn't start Mikhail Hilliard today. I mean, that's the ultimate gambler. And I don't see Jay Johnson at the craps table at the Wynn. Like, I don't get that vibe from him that he's out there rolling through Vegas, buying up, scratch-offs and going and placing bets on the high limits. Like, he seems pretty – just watch this team. They don't steal. He doesn't gamble. He doesn't steal. He doesn't steal bases. He's got dudes that have double-digit steals a year ago. He doesn't even let them run. So if he's not going to steal, that tells me he's not really a gambler, right? He's going to play it safe. He's going to station a stage. He's going to let the guys hit big boppers, hit their doubles and their homers, and take a lot of pitches and draw walks and get hit by pitches. Like, he's going to play that way, which is a conservative approach. So if you have a conservative approach as a coach, then why would you not have a conservative approach when it comes to who you're going to start on the mound? The gambler says, hey, I'm all about winning the tournament. If I don't win the tournament, who cares how many games I win on the weekend? So the gambler says, hey, let's go Ty Floyd today against Kennesaw State. That way we got Mikhail Hilliard against the best, against Southern Miss, ready to go tomorrow to give us the best chance to get to the championship and have 2 games to win 1. That's the gambler mentality. I don't see that in Jay Johnson. I don't believe that he's a gambler. And that's not a criticism. That's just what he's shown. So based on that, I think he's just playing coy, and he's just letting the other team have to wonder and worry and prepare for 2 or 3 different pitchers. And you know, it allows them to not focus solely in whatever the game plan is going to be against Mikhail Hilliard. But we shall see. Maybe we'll know before 4:30. Maybe he'll wait right up until the deadline. We'll talk to Chris Blair at 3:30. We'll talk to Doug Thompson at 4 o'clock. Heck, maybe we'll even know before I get off the air here at 3:30. Just a little update for you as we're watching here in the studio. NCAA baseball underway. Arkansas, the number 2 seed in the Stillwater, Oklahoma regional. Shocker still that Arkansas is not hosting a regional. My God, they were a lock to host a regional until they weren't. But they knocked off Grand Canyon out of the WAC. Grand Canyon, the same conference that Lamar, Will Davis is in. They're a very good team out of Phoenix. They're a top 25 team ranked. They get beat by Arkansas. So Arkansas advances. Let me bring in Matt Moscona for a quick little update around the country, Matt. As you look around the NCAA, any upsets, anything worth note?
A lot of 3s over 2s are your upsets there. So like UConn is up 8-7 over Wake Forest. UConn's the 3, Wake Forest is the 2 in that scenario. The Campbells just put it on Georgia Tech in Knoxville. That's a 3 over a 2.
Are they the Campbell Camels? Camels, like the pack of cigarettes, or Campbell's?
I mean, most people would say like the animal, but yeah, like the pack of cigarettes too, Ron.
Sorry.
I mean, for sure.
That was from my days in Tigerland, but I'm sorry.
Hey. Columbia, the Lions, that's a 3 over a 2. Put it on Gonzaga in Blacksburg, 8-2 there. So those are really your upsets. All the 1 seeds are up right now over the respective 2s. Notre Dame
A&M, though, is in a little bit of a dogfight.
A&M's up 3-1 right now in the 6th over Oral Roberts. Oral Roberts, starting pitcher. His first name was Legend.
That's amazing.
That really is pretty awesome.
Best name of an LSU baseball player.
I mean, Adrian Antonini just kind of rolls off the tongue. That's a good rolls off the tongue, Ron.
Adrian Antonini. I'll tell you a great Adrian Antonini.
Zinsman rolls off the tongue.
That's a good one. So you like the doubles.
That's
the doubles, double Z.
Alliteration. Let's go.
Ronnie Rantz. Then
Ronnie
if you go
Rantz.
Back, I'll give you an Adrian Antonini story. This is an amazing one, and it might be the first time that it's been told on air, which is rare when you're 50 and you've been on the radio a long time. So Adrian Antonini was the starting catcher on the 1993 National Championship team. He's from Miami, went to the same high school as Alex Rodriguez, Westminster Academy, which is a legendary program. They put out tons of great athletes. Adrian Antonini was a big-time catcher, 6'3", probably 230, 240, big guy, had a hose, had a cannon, but was a little bit lazy behind the plate. Didn't love didn't move too fast, kind of moved to the beat of his own drummer, which frustrated the hell out of Skip Bertman. I mean, frustrated coach all the time. He went from Mike Bianco, Gary Email to Adrian Antonini in 92 and 93. And there were, signs sometimes that might get missed, or maybe Adrian decided, you know what, I'd rather call this other pitch. And so coach got a little frustrated with him. So we win the national championship in 93. We come back to Alex Box Stadium to celebrate. And then the next day are the exit meetings where everybody goes in, meets with the coaches, and gets their game plan for next year, says goodbye, whatever the case may be. So Adrian walks in. Finished his junior year. He didn't get drafted. He's going to come back for his senior year. He walks in for his exit meeting. Coach Bertman's drinking a Diet Coke, smoking a Have a Tampa cigar, and he says, hey, Adrian, let's do me a favor. Have a seat. And it was the old days where the telephone was on the back of the credenza, right? He goes, hey, listen, I need you to do me a favor. And he reaches over and he grabs the telephone. He says, I need you to transfer to Florida. I got Joe Arnold on the phone. Here you go. He's got a full scholarship for you. You're going to go catch for Florida next year. And, I got two young guys coming up. They need to play. And Adrian's like hell I am, and they get into a little back and forth with a lot of expletives. Bottom line is, an hour later, he comes out of that meeting and he was a pitcher. And the agreement was, okay, if you're going to stay, you're not playing catcher because I'm tired of that crap. We're going with some young guys that are going to do things the way I want them to be done. You can make it as a pitcher. As it turns out, he was a pretty good closer through 95, got drafted as a closer, but he never caught again at LSU, even though he was the national championship starting catcher 2 days earlier. 2 days later, he was a pitcher.
Hey,
So,
like you said, it worked out.
little did you know on AFR. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back second segment. When we come back, the subject you've been waiting for. I know many of you want to know what is going on with the Baton Rouge Rougarou. Well, we're going to tell you. The Rougarou are playing Game 4 tonight in Victoria, Texas. I will be there. We'll tell you what's going on this season, and we'll tell you when their home opener is next week. We'll be back with more AFR right after this.
AFR.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste and only 96 calories. It's Miller time.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $5,000 off the new 2022 Wagoneer. We have Wagoneers in stock with $5,000 off. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Oh, yeah, this is a baseball fan's dream this week. 64 teams in the NCAA Regionals, all on that ESPN app. I mean, there's no better time. And how about this? A lot of people sleep on a little summer college baseball, but summer college baseball plays a giant role in the development of these players. You know, let me tell you a little story about a guy named Andrew Stevenson. Andrew Stevenson hit 190 his freshman year at LSU. Andrew Stevenson had about 3 inches of plate coverage with his baseball bat. He had a giant uppercut, pulled off everything. Andrew Stevenson was a heck of a defensive player, and if you remember his freshman year, Paul Maneri put him in center field, let him start probably the second half of the season, just gave up the offense because his defense was that good. He was amazing in center and could go cover everything. But he hit a $190. And in summer ball that summer, he went up to Illinois, I believe. I think it was the Danville Dans maybe he was playing for. He went up to Illinois, and he changed his swing. And he literally came back, and he was like the modern-day version of Rod Carew. He went with like the flat bat, and you got to be 50 or over to know that one. But look, YouTube some Rod Carew, and you'll see Andrew Stevenson in that swing. He laid the bat flat, kind of down, and just through the zone. And he went from hitting like a $190 to like 360, 370 the next year. I mean, it was the biggest turnaround, biggest turnaround I've ever seen from one player to the next, from one year to the next. Unbelievable. And the guy made the major leagues. And so if it hadn't been for summer ball, he wouldn't have had that opportunity to go tinker with it, go off somewhere, put it in play in a game for 30, 40 games or whatever they did that summer. And he came back and he was a different guy. And it changed the course of his career, and obviously became a great LSU player. Well, the Texas Collegiate League is the same thing. They have over 20 leagues around the country, believe it or not. The Cape Cod, Alaska being the oldest and most famous ones. But they've got leagues all over. The Jayhawk League, the Texas Collegiate League, the Great Lakes League, the Coastal Plains League. I mean, there's a bunch of leagues all over the place. And that's where a lot of the college players go to play in the summer. And most of them are wood bat leagues. So they get scouted by the pros. There's a belief by a lot of hitting coaches that if you can learn how to hit with a wood bat, you'll be a better aluminum bat hitter because the sweet spot's smaller. So if you can figure out where that sweet spot is on a wood bat, obviously the zone's bigger on an aluminum bat. Well, the TCL's been around for over 15 years, and the most famous team in Louisiana is the Acadiana Cane Cutters. They've been around a dozen years, playing in Youngsville and Lafayette. Mikhail Hilliard pitched for the Acadiana Cane Cutters. And so they've been around a dozen years. Well, a few years ago, the Baton Rouge Rougarou popped up in 2019. 20, they didn't play because of COVID. 21, it got sold to a guy from Alexandria, and they showed some improvement with the organization. And then I bought the team in February. For anybody who's not been to a Rougarou game, and that's many of you, because I've been to Rougarou games, and many of you have not been there. I hadn't seen you there. And if you have been, you're fortunate. You're going to be able to compare to what that was like in the past and what it's going to be like next week when you go to a game. But for those of you that have not been to a Rougarou game, and I know Musso, you're one of them, Paul O'Neill's one of them, y'all have never been, you're going to have a great time. It's minor league baseball, but with college players, and it's with a wood bat. And, hey, you can drink a beer. You can get a little daiquiri. The food is good. Let me trust you. The concession stand, Musso, is going to be as good of a concession stand as any in the country. Here's why I say that.
Okay, I'm interested
I
now.
am the taste tester.
Oh.
And if anybody, if anybody knows me, they know Ronnie Rantz does not lead them astray when it comes to food or restaurant choices or anything like that. So if it's on the board, it's because I've taste tested it and went, yes, that's approved.
What's your favorite thing so far? What can we expect?
Okay, so do you shop at Costco? Does mom shop at Costco?
Sure, yeah, Costco for sure.
The Kirkland hot dogs?
Yeah.
Okay, so like when you go to Costco, you pay $1.50, you get a hot dog.
Right.
That same hot dog is the one we sell.
It's a good hot dog.
It's a great hot dog. And we got the jumbo hot dog.
Of course.
Well.
Oh, you got to me. Come on. Come on.
Come on.
Got to.
Okay. How about a hamburger? You like a good hamburger?
Love a good hamburger.
How about a hamburger from Chris's Specialty Meats?
No better hamburger.
I mean, I'm not talking about the hamburger where you go in the freezer section and you tear them apart and it's got that paper that rips and you get half a paper on your hamburger. I mean, we're talking Chris's Specialty Meats. Fantastic place here in the Baton Rouge area. Individually vacuum sealed, great prime, third of a pound burger. That's the kind of burger you're going to get at a Rougarou game.
Sounds like the best concession stand in the Texas Collegiate League.
You like a pulled pork sandwich?
Who doesn't?
How about a brisket nachos? You like that?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I'm just throwing it out there for you. You like 6 different kinds of daiquiris? That's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
But here's the one thing that we're going to have that nobody is going to have in America, and is going to be a game changer for anybody that goes to a college baseball game or a pro baseball game in June and July in the South. We have, you ready for this? So
I'm ready.
You're not even be able to believe what I'm about to tell you. The Baton Rouge Rougarou, which home opener is next Tuesday, June 7th, and we got 5 games next week, 7th, 8th, 9th, and then the 11th and 12th. Go to brrougarou.com. We have something no one's got in the country, and that is a refrigerator viewing box.
Okay, what is that?
It's
because it sounds awesome.
So when you go to LSU football practice, they've got this big giant refrigerator box on its field. Have you ever been out there?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Now I got you.
There's 10 in the world. We've got one of them.
Ooh.
Saints have one. Raiders have one. Alabama Crimson Tide has one. LSU Tigers have one. The Miami Hurricanes have one. The Baton Rouge Rougarou have one.
Stepping up the game.
It's a giant refrigerator box. So when you get too hot, here's the deal. You get too hot. Man, it's hot out here. It's 90 degrees. The sun hadn't gone down yet. Maybe you're there for the 7 o'clock first pitch. It's still warm. It's not 8:30 and 9 o'clock yet when it's nice and cool. It's 7 o'clock. Well, I'm getting a little warm. I'm going to go get a cold beer. I'm going to go sit in the refrigerator box, windows on it, watch the game for a few minutes, cool off for 10 minutes, and then step outside into the cool zone with the fans, the bar, the daiquiri machine, the food truck where we'll have pulled chicken.
Andy's got a food truck.
I mean, come on. Philly cheesesteak food truck.
Come on.
Who's
You
got
can't
that?
beat that. You can't beat it.
Nobody's got that. The Rougarou has that. So that's coming up this week. And oh, by the way, we got a pretty good team. We're 2-1 right now.
Ooh.
Rougarou
Hot start.
2-1. We play tonight in Victoria, Texas. I'm going to be jumping on a little puddle jumper, headed there tonight to go watch the team play. We are 2-1. Got a lot of local players. Got 2 or 3 Catholic High players, a Parkview player, a Walker High player. We've got some Tulane, some UL, some Lamar. Will Davis sent us 3 players from his squad. We got Jay Johnson's going to send us some players when their season's over with. So, and we're coached by Wes Theriot, the Riot's brother. So he's doing a great job. Sean Teague. And I mean, I'm telling you, bro, game changer next week. Go to brrougarou.com. brrougarou.com. You two guys are going to be, you, Paul O'Neill, the man of very few words, and you, Musso, are going to be my special guest. You're going to be in the LeBear's Lounge on the Budweiser party deck.
I'm in.
With your VIP wristband. Ready for this? All you can eat and drink.
Sold.
Including beer.
Sold.
Catered food from LeBear's. Who has that, Musso? Nobody.
The Baton Rouge Rougarou has that.
Baton Rouge Rougarou has that. Special thanks to all our great sponsors out there. Lamar Advertising. Billboards up today. We got 4 billboards around town promoting Rougarou. Nobody has that, Musso. We've got a refrigerator box.
I'm really intrigued by the refrigerator box, actually.
In a refrigerator and watch baseball in June and July in Baton Rouge. Nobody has that.
No, well, somebody does.
Rougarou. Pete Goldsby Field, right there next to Memorial Stadium, next to the state capitol. Get your tickets now, because I'm telling you, we are going, 4 years from now, we're going to look back on this moment, Musso, you and I, and go,
we're going to play the tape.
That's where it changed.
We're going to play the tape
That
back.
was the day that things changed and the Rougarou became the thing to do in Baton Rouge in the summer.
The premier summer collegiate baseball team in America.
Absolutely.
Love
By
it.
the way, Savannah Bananas are not a summer collegiate team. I get that all the time. People say, what about, you need to be they are the Harlem Globetrotters. They're a traveling circus. It's great.
Oh,
it's wonderful. And we hope to have them here in the future at the
good.
box. We'd love the Rougarou to play the Bananas at the box in July next year. Musso, would that be awesome?
I'd be there. I'm in.
That's something we're working on, by the way. Just letting you know. But anyway, want to appreciate everybody for tuning in here. The first half hour. LSU baseball talk coming up next. Chris Blair is going to join us from Hattiesburg. Taylor Sharp going to take over. We've got Chris Blair, Doug Thompson, Charles Hanagriff, The Riot, everybody coming up next. Don't go anywhere. You've been watching AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local. For more than 60 years, Clegg's Nursery has served the greater Baton Rouge area. You know the 4 locations. Sigourney Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Spring has sprung and summer is here, y'all. Summer is here, and it is the perfect time to get by Clegg's Nursery. If you want to get into that lawn and get rid of all those weeds, they've got the weed killing cocktail for your lawn. You want to add a pop of color to your flower beds, to your patio pots. Nobody has the selection that Clegg's does, as their full greenhouses with truckloads of plants and flowers arriving every single day. Any of the 4 Clegg's Nursery locations. And remember, Clegg's is partnered with True Value Hardware Store, so anything you'd find at a True Value Hardware Store, you'll also find at Clegg's Nursery. So buy local, shop local, and tell them Matt sent you in. The Clegg's Nursery.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside, off the bench, Hunt and Hill, the early line. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Join 100.7 The Tiger and Our Lady of the Lake Ascension, Saturday, June 25th at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center in Gonzales.
Enjoy live music from Ted Durr, Mike Broussard and the Night Train, and Jamie Badron and the Kickin' Cajuns. Make sure you grab a delicious plate of jambalaya from the Mike Ward's Liberty Safes Jambalaya Cook-Off to raise money for the Alzheimer's services of the capital area.
The Swamp Pop Music Festival with Supreme Chevrolet,
Louisiana's country station.
100.7 The Tiger.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but 2 NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, front-to-back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Always a pleasure to tell you about our friends at the Williamson Eye Center. Check them out online at williamsoneye.com. They've got locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area. On the Baton Rouge General Campus, I mean, you turn off a Bluebonnet onto Picardy, you make that right. And then right there at the stop sign, the building on the right, the first 2 floors, that's the Williamson Eye Center. State-of-the-art dry eye center, and it's full service. Of course, they have their state-of-the-art surgery center there where you can have your LASIK or whatever surgical procedure you're having. But they have your standard annual eye exam as well at the Williamson Eye Center. Learn more at williamsoneye.com. The thing I tell you every day is take the advice that I was given and change your life. To give yourself the gift of sight is absolutely incredible. If you're someone like me who spent your life with contacts or glasses, there is a way to be done with it forever. williamsoneye.com. Go see Dr. Blake Williamson for that free consultation. 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com for the Williamson Eye Center.
Back here on After Further Review. A little change up, little call to the bullpen, if you will. Musso, Taylor Sharp, now going to be in for the next hour and a half here on After Further Review. Then I'm going back behind the board, Taylor. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to
rolling with the punches today, man. It's it's a hectic one.
That's what you do sometimes, man. Look, live radio. That's what happens sometimes. Ronnie set us up with a bunch of great guests here. We're going to go to the first of those great guests. Going to go out to Hattiesburg, where we find the voice of the Tigers, Chris Blair of the LSU Sports Radio Network. Chris, how are you?
I'm good, gentlemen. Hope you're doing well. And right now, the weather looks a lot better than it did in Hoover.
It doesn't. Hoover looks probably similar to how Coral Gables looks right now. They're getting hammered over there, and probably won't play till Saturday. But you don't have that problem in Hattiesburg, and that's phenomenal. That's actually kind of the first question, Chris, is the scene setter. I mean, how much purple and gold have you seen just 2.5 hours down the road from Baton Rouge?
Well, I'll tell you this, a little curveball. The town of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, obviously a wonderful little hamlet here in the Magnolia State. But I think they forgot to tell the NCAA when they put in a bid to host a regional that there also was going to be a massive youth travel ball tournament going on. And so hotel rooms are impossible to find. I've been in 3 hotels in 2 days, and at the moment, at 3:35, 3:36, I don't have a hotel room for tonight. So I hope that there are Tiger fans that are going to come up and make the 2.5-hour drive. Now, where they're going to stay, I have no idea. But so I have no idea. We literally have been in the car the majority of the time, went to the team hotel and hung out in the lobby today. Obviously saw a few Tiger fans there, but it's kind of hard to tell. I guess we'll find out. I mean, obviously they mentioned that the game tonight and the packets are sold out. They may have some standing room only. So we'll see if Southern Miss fans gobbled all those up or whether or not there were some Tiger fans that were able to get there. But, yeah, it's been interesting the last 2 days, to say the least.
Voice, you might have to go see if you can't sleep in somebody's motorhome in the lot tonight out there if you can't get a hotel reservation.
Well, I'm glad we got the late game tonight. I may just stay in the press box. It's pretty nice, so I may just cuddle up under the desk.
Chris, look, do they not know who you are? I mean, they could bump one of these average Joes out of a hotel room for you, I'm sure. But, look, let's jump right into it. LSU Kennesaw State tonight, 6 p.m. What are you looking for from the Tigers? I mean, I know we don't, know a starting pitcher yet, but let's kind of talk about the status of Cade Doty and Jacob Berry here. That's kind of what everybody's wondering. What do you think their status is for tonight's game?
They looked pretty good yesterday at practice, which, again, I think they're going to be in the lineup. How much, whether or not Jacob is the DH, again, depending on how healthy Gavin Dugas is, which I think is still a question mark. He is batted, Jacob, that is, from both the right and left side. Now, whether or not he'll be in the field at third base, I think would be the big mystery. Cade Doty's going to tough it out. I mean, he told everybody who would listen yesterday that he's not 100%, but he thinks he can gut it out and do what he needs to do to be effective both in the field and at the plate. So those are a big 2 additions. People ask me all the time, in baseball, how important is it to have those 2 in the lineup for LSU? And I just point to the Tennessee game last week, a team that's lost just 7 games, 5 in the SEC. LSU had their chances. There were some great defensive plays made by Tennessee on some hit balls. But, with men on base and you don't have Jacob Berry or Cade Doty, I think that shows you how important those 2 guys are to the team. So having them back and expecting them to be as close. I talked to Jay about an hour ago, and he used the phrase, the time off between last Saturday and today has given the time for guys to rest and get closer to 100%. That's the way he put it. So, but I'll take Cade Doty at 85%. I'll take Jacob Berry at 85% if that's what you can get. But by the way, Taylor, there's about 6 hotels here in Hattiesburg that know me as the homeless LSU guy right now. So I don't think they don't really care about what I do. I'm just the guy that keeps coming in asking if there's a room open.
Chris, that's such a Baton Rouge is just such a better place for you. You need to get back here with your people is the problem.
Absolutely. That's why we got to take care of business. And whenever they play in Miami, have Arizona or somebody else come out of there and let's play a super in Baton Rouge.
I think everybody listening would be on board for that for sure. As far as the pitching matchup does go, we know Jay's going to wait 90 minutes before to officially announce. But is there anything you've kind of gathered as maybe who goes for LSU on the mound, and for that matter, who goes for Kennesaw State on the mound as well?
There are 2 main starters for Kennesaw State. I spoke to their radio guy yesterday who I've known for a long time and knew him when he was a student at Georgia Tech. And he kind of said the same thing, which is we got two main starters. And to tell you which one's going to go on Friday night, he said, the coach isn't going to tell me, and I don't know. So I think that's kind of the same thing you hear from Jay. I, again, just spoke with him an hour ago, and it was, we're going to make that decision. And part of that decision is that we don't know who Kennesaw State is throwing. But I will tell you this, talking to Jay, he mentioned to me how important the importance that he places upon the first game of a regional. And if you've listened to Jay, and I know you guys have, all season long since the day he set foot on campus, everything is planned and prepared and worked towards the NCAA region. Fall ball, preseason, non-conference, in-conference, conference tournament, everything leads for him and his staff to this moment tonight. So for him to put the importance on getting off to a good start and getting that first win in regional play, kind of you got to read between the lines, kind of look at the tea leaves a little bit. So that's my best guess. But these are two teams that all season long have really rode their offense. I mean, if you look at Kennesaw State's numbers and if you've watched any of their film, you will see they're a team that, really hits the ball well. I think they have a .301 batting average, which led the Atlantic Sun. They were tied for second with doubles, tied for second for triples. I think somewhere in the 5 or 6 range in the conference for home runs. They have to outscore people. And, while I think McHale's done an excellent job, I think the bullpen has been spectacular at times, more times than not this season. Let's face it, LSU, their offense is what they hang their hat on. So that's what I'm looking for tonight. It's going to be interesting because this is not a small park. It's not a bandbox by any stretch of the imagination. It's similar in a lot of ways to Alec Box. So we'll see, we'll see extra base hits, home runs, see who gets the most.
Yeah, Chris, you mentioned that, LSU's bullpen has been great for them. The problem is if LSU loses one of these first 2 games, who are they going to start later in the week if they have to play these extra games?
Well, that's the big question. Bill Franquez, who's forgotten more LSU baseball than I'll ever know, we were having that discussion at lunch today as to if you don't get off to a great start, regardless if you start Hilliard, at that point, whoever starts game 1, then you got to start thinking about who you have to rely on if you got to play game 2, game 3, and then possibly a game 4. And at that point, I think, we've seen different guys take those roles. I mean, obviously, as recently as last Saturday, we saw Jacob Hasty come out and try to start a game. Wasn't as effective as he's been of late out of the bullpen. Ty Floyd, of course, I think is a name you could throw in there just simply because now that he's got a secondary pitch, he can keep batters honest a little bit, or at least a little more honest. Blake Money, he's been in the starting rotation. He's most recently come out of the bullpen. You got Samuel Dutton. So, I think when it comes to pitching going into this regional, believe me, Jay and his staff and Coach Kelly are working to come up with a plan. But I think right now it's going to go inning by inning, game by game, and matchup to matchup as how they try to piece this together. But the silver lining in all of that, guys, is the fact that I think we all can agree the job they've done this year without true prototypical SEC starting pitchers for the weekend have been pretty good. So I have a lot of trust and faith that they'll be able to put a plan together.
That's for sure. I mean, look, pitching was the biggest question mark coming into the season. And, I think if you would have told just about anybody back on, February 1st when you're, in the middle of the preseason ball and whatnot, that they were going to be top 5 in the SEC in earned run average, I think you would have gotten a lot of strange looks. They have absolutely performed way over expectation, and hopefully that continues 100%.
It's going to have to.
So let's see. Chris Blair, Doug Thompson, Bill Franquez, all 3 on the call tonight. 5:30 airtime tonight, Chris, on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
That's right. I know the game, I think, going on somewhere last I checked was in the 8th inning with Southern Miss leading. We were told by the TV guys who rule our lives that there will not be a first pitch until 6:06 Central Time here in Hattiesburg. So we'll go on at 5:30, and, we'll have a 3-man booth. The broadcast facilities here in Hattiesburg at Southern Miss are fantastic. So we got a big old booth, got plenty of room, and looking forward to having some fun and probably throwing a few jokes out there.
Absolutely. So, hey man, sync up the radio with the TV broadcast, as I know many of y'all do out there. You can listen to it also here on Terrestrial Radio, our sister station, Eagle 98.1. Chris, we appreciate the time. Have a great call and enjoy the baseball.
All right, guys. Have a good rest of your day, and let's go Tigers.
Absolutely. That is Chris Blair, the voice of your LSU Tigers. We'll grab a break here, come back on the other side, and talk to Charles Hanagriff. Hanny's going to join the show, talk some LSU baseball with the Handyman. That's next on AFR 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, and Bluebonnet. Dine in or carry out 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, and sports on TV. What more could you possibly want? How about sandwiches? Well, they've got those. What about salads? Pluckers actually has really underrated salads. Giant, gorgeous, fresh salads. You can actually eat healthy at Pluckers. Or you could just binge. Award-winning jumbo chicken wings tossed in your favorite sauce. You want to create your own menu item? Do it. They encourage the creativity. Great sides as well, like the cheese fries, the El Guapo dip, maybe the homemade blue cheese potato chips, holy macaroni, fried pickles. They got it all at Pluckers. Nicholson, just south of campus. Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. The best place to watch the game, which game? Any game, is at Pluckers, because you can eat wings, drink beer, and watch sports on TV. Remember, at Pluckers, if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $5,000 off the new 2022 Wagoneer. We have Wagoneers in stock with $5,000 off. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Visit Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a life.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Final segment, hour number one of After Further Review, Friday show brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar, Musso, and Taylor Sharp. In with you here for Matt Moscona, who is on vacation. Welcoming on a colleague of ours, Charles Hanagriff. Hanny, how we doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing all right, Hanny. Getting ready for some baseball tonight. Southern Miss has officially polished off the Army Black Knights 2-0. So the Golden Eagles into the winner's bracket game as many expected. Look, LSU for the second straight year, they're going on the road for the NCAA regional round. They won it last year. How much do you think the experience of guys still returning on this team, both on the mound and in the lineup, factors in when trying to do it for a second year in a row?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, you get a guy like Mikael Hilliard who knows what it's like to be out there in a postseason situation, a Devin Fontenot. You know, other guys have had experience somewhere else. You know, you look at the Riley Coopers of the world, and Barry, of course. Those guys, you know, had the experience at Arizona. I think it matters a little bit, but overall, it comes down to who gets to make the plays. You know, whether you're experienced or not. I've seen freshmen have great regionals, so a little bit, but it's not the biggest deal.
Yeah, Hanny. Look, you mentioned the experience of Mikael Hilliard, and other than him, this team's pretty young. If you're Jay, do you roll Mikael out there game one, or do you save him for Southern Miss?
I would. I think this is a tough call on how to pitch in this regional, but I wouldn't throw him in game one. My thinking is that you figure the longest outing of any starting pitcher that LSU is going to have this weekend is going to be Mikael Hilliard. I want him pitching in the marble game, and I want that to be later in the regional. I want the guy that I've got maybe less confidence in to go deep into the game to go in game one because I got the most bullpen. If he were to throw, say, Ty Floyd or Sam Dutton tonight, then if those guys get him 2 or 3 innings, that's when he can come with Razelman and Cooper and Fontenot and Gervais. You know, he's got enough guys to win game one. But there's also the possibility that LSU, a really good offensive club, could get this thing out of hand in the middle innings, and then you wouldn't have to use those other bullpen arms. So pitching down is something that has long been done in regional play. It's just this is different because LSU's starting pitching past the one guy. They really don't know what they're going to get.
Hanny, obviously, I mean, focusing a little bit more on them being on the road here, it's not something LSU's had to do often, at least, over the past decade for sure. But before last year, it was a really tough spot for them. Why do you think it has been such a tough spot for them when they have had to go on the road?
Well, in 2018, they faced an Oregon State team that was, I think, somewhere in the area of 56-12 or something when they finished. I don't remember, but they were great. Okay, Adley Rushman was the #1 pick in the draft, was on that team. I mean, they went and faced a great team. In 2011, you went to UCLA, and they only had Garrett Cole on that team. So you went and faced 2 all-star major league pitchers in that regional on the road. So I guess my answer is when they've gone on the road to face competition, it's been really, really good. They haven't sent them to a 16 seed or anything like that.
Yeah, Hanny, and look, no disrespect to Southern Miss. I was just happy that LSU landed this draw strictly because they don't have to go all the way across country like in Eugene or, we've seen them go all over. This one just being a couple miles away. I mean, you think that's going to help LSU get a little bit more comfortable? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Tiger fans there.
There will be. The Southern Miss fans are not going to sell. This is the whole reason you buy Southern Miss season tickets is for a situation like this. But they'll do a little bit better, I guess, than they would have in a lot of other places. The traveling Tigers for baseball are pretty doggone loyal. That park, I was shocked to see the opening game go 2-0 because that is notoriously a hitter's park. I've called games there. Ball jumps usually, and I figured with the warm weather today, the ball would really jump some. I didn't see the first game. Maybe there was some really good pitching, but I expected more runs. I expect a lot of runs tonight, and I expect a lot of runs tomorrow.
Conley early for Army, Hanny. I did get to watch a little bit of it. He wiggled in and out of trouble. I mean, he stranded second and third and 1 out in 1 inning. He stranded the bases loaded in 1 inning for Southern Miss. They just kind of struggled getting the big hit. And then Tanner Hall, he shoved. He was perfect for like 3 innings. So there was some pretty good pitching. Quickly here, Hanny, about do you expect Jacob Berry to play third base about 30 seconds?
I saw the same video you did probably of him taking ground balls. I have no idea. I watched a lot of baseball, but I don't know how Jacob Berry's finger feels today. Yeah. So I got no better idea than you do.
That's Charles Hanagriff. Handy, enjoy the baseball tonight, man. Thanks for hopping on with us.
All right, thanks, guys.
Absolutely. we'll grab our break here. That ends the first hour of the cool man. I'm trying to get to the weekend. That ends the first hour of the show. We'll come back on the other side. Doug Thompson from the LSU Sports Radio Network. So he'll be on the call tonight along with Chris Blair and Bill Franquez. Get some pitching thoughts from Doug on how maybe LSU sets this up. His faith level in the bullpen right now as they've struggled maybe a little bit down the stretch when really trying to piece together some outings. And it's good insight coming from Doug Thompson here next to start hour number 2 of After Further Review.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com, where they just got in 4 truckloads of brand new Volkswagens. We know what the issues have been like in the auto industry for more than a year now. But at South Point Volkswagen, inventory on the lot. Check it out at SouthPointVW.com. Remember, if it's on the lot, it's online at SouthPointVW.com or hurry by South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland. They are Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, South Point Volkswagen, with 9 different IIHS top safety picks, the safest vehicles on the road, the style, the feel, the performance of luxury, the great German engineering without the cost, and they've got inventory right now at South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
This is SportsCenter.
Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins. The Philadelphia Phillies become the first Major League Baseball team this season to fire their manager, Joe Girardi. Let go in this his third year with the club. Phillies 22-29, 12 games behind the Mets in the National League East. Are you surprised? ESPN MLB insider Buster Olney sure is.
There is surprise because if you actually, you look at the team they put together this year, from the days that they signed Nicholas Castellanos and Kyle Schwarber, you looked at the roster and go, wow, they were defensively challenged before. Now they could be really bad defensively. And you knew they were going to be historically bad defensively.
That's Buster Olney on Bart and Hahn earlier here on ESPN Radio. ESPN's Jeff Passan reports the Astros have signed Yordan Alvarez to a 4-year, $116 million contract extension. And in the NFL, center Alex Max has announced his retirement after 13 seasons. The Bills have signed wideout Tavon Austin to a 1-year deal. He caught 24 passes last season in Jacksonville.
Feeling great starts with a great shave. And great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. And for a limited time only, capture your Barbasol Jurassic World collector cans before they're gone.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour number 2 of After Further Review. Musso, Taylor Sharp were sitting in for Ronnie Rantz, who was sitting in for Matt Moscona. So
what's those, the Russian nesting dolls?
Yes,
just keep pulling in more
that
people?
is a great analogy, actually. That's exactly what this is. But it is a Friday edition of After Further Review. We're brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Talking a lot of LSU baseball as the Tigers and the Kennesaw State Owls will get underway here in about 58 and a half minutes. 2 hours here. I'm really trying to get to the weekend, Taylor. I said it was the end of hour 3 at the end of hour 1. Now I'm saying we have an hour till first pitch. I am trying hard to get out of here.
You mentioned it earlier. For a 4-day week, this is just
it is drug by. It is drug by a little bit. Let's head back out to Hattiesburg, get some more preview of LSU and Kennesaw State. Doug Thompson from the LSU Sports Radio Network joins the show now. Doug, I heard there's a bit of a hotel situation in Hattiesburg right now, but other than that, how's the Berg treating you?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me, and good Friday to you, Taylor and Musso. Thanks for having me. You just scared the hell out of me. I thought I was going to be 2 hours late for the game when you said the game was starting in an hour. Actually, I'm not even I didn't deal with the hotel stuff. I'm just driving in today from Baton Rouge. Have my 2 boys with me, so we're about 5 miles away from the beautiful city of Hattiesburg.
I'm sorry for putting the fear in you there, Duggar. I really am. I'm just I'm itching. I'm itching for some Tiger baseball and just to kind of get to the weekend here. Regional weekend is always a really fun time to if you're a college baseball fan, just a really fun time in general. Let's talk LSU though and start on the mound because that's the biggest question is how they handle it. Is it Mikhail Hilliard? Is it Ty Floyd? Is it potentially Sam Dutton or somebody else? What direction would you take it if you were the head coach making the call?
Well, I really need to look at the matchup. This team comes in, more prominent offense than pitching staff. So, one thing you're hoping for some runs scored, right? And it would be great. It looks like USM, if they already haven't, are going to win that first game. They were up 2-0 in the 8th inning. So you would like to have Mikhail Hilliard, of course, because he's kind of earned that Friday night ace role, if you will, for tomorrow night. So for me, I would have to really look at the matchup and how many left-handed hitters in the lineup and see which pitcher matched up best against Kennesaw State. But it would be very tempting, I guess, to answer your question, to hold Mikhail Hilliard back and have him for Southern Miss tomorrow night.
Yeah, okay, Doug, let's kind of switch to LSU's lineup here for a second. Kennesaw State has 2 guys, John Bezdacek and Jack Myers. They're likely going to throw one of those guys tonight. The problem is Bezdechek's a lefty, and, since neither coach has announced a starting pitcher, do you think Jay is going to kind of put one of those more balanced lineups together in case they do throw that lefty?
No, in fact, I think Jay Johnson, lately, I've listened to a couple of his interviews, and he feels like the team is more comfortable now than ever. In fact, I heard him last week say that they would actually prefer a lefty. So, I don't know that that's really a concern as much for this offense as it was at the beginning of the season, where they really just weren't seeing that many lefties. So, people, didn't think that they were really hitting them that well, but for a while there, they didn't really see that many left-handed pitchers. So, no, I don't expect any difference of a lineup. I think we'll see Cade Doty in this lineup, which is good news for the Tigers. Doty, he'll be wearing a shoulder brace, but from what I understand, Doty even wore it's a shoulder brace that he wore last season when he had the same injury. And from what I understand, earlier this season, he decided to put the shoulder brace on because he feels like he actually hits better with it on. So, don't expect to see Doty, necessarily struggle because he hasn't had any live at-bats. But I'm excited to have his bat back in the lineup. And, again, I think that they've shown, especially down the home stretch, what they did at Vanderbilt. This team is on the verge of exploding any night offensively. So hopefully that will be the story of tonight's game.
Jacob Berry is expected to join him back in the lineup as well. Berry and Doty getting those two guys back. Jacob Berry even taking some hacks left-handed yesterday at practice too, so maybe return to switch hitting as well. Just Doug, as a pitcher who had to, the era of college baseball you played in, you had to face some intimidating lineups with even more intimidating actual equipment like the bats. What Berry and Doty add back into this lineup from a pitcher's perspective of having to face it?
And pressure. Plain and simple, right? You add two guys who can put the ball out of the ballpark in any direction. They both have power to all fields, which is unique. But, of course, it just adds pressure, and pressure busts pipes. And the more those guys you stack up in the lineup, the more difficult it is to get through that lineup. But, look, I think the story of this postseason for LSU and for other teams as well across the country is you have to have the unexpected pitching performance. You have to have, if you recall back to Oregon last year with Javen Coleman and I think Edwards and some other guys, they came up with some huge clutch outs and strung together some outs throughout that regional in Oregon last year. And that's what we're going to have to see, I think, not only for LSU, but half the teams in the tournament, if they're going to have any success, you have to have that guy that maybe you didn't expect, go out there and mow some guys down to be able to fight, for extended amount of time in the postseason.
I'm glad you kind of brought that up because I did want to ask you about the LSU bullpen. And it feels like earlier in the year they were able to really, really piece together. If your starter couldn't get out of the second inning or whatnot, covering 7 innings wasn't really a problem for this LSU bullpen. As of late, whether it be, the game 2 against Bama or the second 2 games against Ole Miss or the last Kentucky game in Hoover, it's just they've had a heavy workload. It looks like it's become a bit more of an issue. Do you have the same amount of confidence in that whole staff approach for LSU right now?
Yeah, for sure. Our bullpen is one of the strengths of our team. In fact, it may be the cornerstone of our team, right? When you talk about guys like Paul Gervais and Raiselman being able to go out there and throw the ball, 95 miles an hour plus. Those guys are game changers and really have been, if you look at the season, as a whole, they've really been dominant, those two. And to have two dominant arms like that, a couple of guys like Devin Fontenot, Trent Dickmeyer, and others, Hasty, the lefty coming out of there at times. LSU's bullpen is salty and going to be very competitive. And I feel like that's one of the main attributes that are going to keep the Tigers alive in the postseason and give them a chance to make a run.
Doug, let's stay with the bullpen here for a second. Look, you just mentioned guys like Eric Raiselman, Paul Gervais. We know those guys are going to get a heavy workload, but, if for some reason they don't have it, who's one guy coming out of the bullpen this weekend that you'd really like to see step up?
Wow, that's a great question. Put me on the spot. I think Jacob Hasty could be key. He has really been able to come in lately, and his breaking ball is as good as any left-hander in college baseball, I'm convinced. So I feel like Jacob Hasty as a left-hander might come get some key outs this weekend.
I mean, look, man, he certainly is one of the candidates for a big.
And I have to mention Riley Cooper as well. Sorry to cut you off there, but Riley Cooper has been pretty superb all year and pretty solid. So I expect him to probably get the ball in some big moments as well. You know, Jay Johnson has a lot of confidence in him, and that's huge. I mean, for a coach to say that, and he certainly has from start to finish with Riley Cooper. So also expect maybe some big outs from Riley Cooper this week. I'm sorry again to cut you off there.
All good, Duggar, all good. I mean, Cooper, and look, kind of struggled a little bit early in the year, but he's been put in some of the highest leverage situations for LSU this year as well. Definitely a blessing out of the transfer portal, that Riley Cooper. Well, Doug's going to be on the call with Chris Blair and Bill Franquez, a 5:30 pregame, 6:06 first pitch, as we found out earlier today, en route to the Berg. Doug, we appreciate the time, and have a great call. Enjoy the baseball.
Thanks a lot for having me, guys. You guys have a great weekend, and go Tigers.
Absolutely. That is Doug Thompson, former Tiger national champion, now of the LSU Sports Radio Network, color analyst there. We're going to grab a break, come back on the other side, continue the conversation around baseball. Focus it a little bit more on hitting, though. Ryan Theriot, who's obviously normally here for 2 hours on Fridays with Matt. We'll stop by for a couple of different segments here. I want to get Theriot's thoughts, obviously, on what he saw with the lineup in the SEC tournament, just thoughts on overall their performance there. Obviously, getting Jacob Berry, Cade Doty, those guys back, thoughts on the regional as a whole, maybe what he would do with the pitching staff as well. Just talk a lot of baseball with Ryan Theriot next here on After Further Review. Friday show brought to you by Don Juan's Cigar Bar. Stick around.
AFR. Take 60 seconds. Remind you about our friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana. For years, I've told you so many examples of your friends and neighbors, our listeners, who have called Insurance Network of Louisiana. This process is so easy. I don't want it to be intimidating because sometimes people think insurance, I don't know, I don't know what my coverage is. I haven't looked at it in so long. Don't be intimidated. At Insurance Network of Louisiana, the guys and gals over there are awesome, and they can walk you through the entire process. It's easy. It starts with one phone call. You call Insurance Network of Louisiana, they take a little bit of information, and then they go shop. They do all the work for you. And then they'll come back with you and let you know if they were able to find you better coverage for less money. It's basically like this, the analogy I give. Would you hire an agent if you were an athlete that could only negotiate with one team? Or would you rather hire an agent that can negotiate the best deal among all the teams? That's Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside, off the bench, Hunt and Hill, the early line. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $5,000 off the new 2022 Wagoneer. We have Wagoneers in stock with $5,000 off. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Join 100.7 The Tiger and Our Lady of the Lake Ascension, Saturday, June 25th at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center in Gonzales.
Enjoy live music from Ted Durr, Mike Broussard and the Night Train, and Jamie Badron and the Kickin' Cajuns. Make sure you grab a delicious plate of jambalaya from the Mike Ward's Liberty Safes Jambalaya Cook-Off to raise money for the Alzheimer's services of the capital area.
The Swamp Pop Music Festival with Supreme Chevrolet,
Louisiana's country station.
100.7 The Tiger.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, Front-to-Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawbillsTire.com. 18 locations in South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you at ShawbillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. They will always find a way to get you the best possible price for the best possible tires on the road. That's what they do at Shawbills. And when they get you in by selling you the best tires, the cheapest price possible, they're going to treat you like family, and they're going to treat you so good you're going to keep coming back year after year after year every time you need anything for your vehicle. Tires rotated, oil changed, check engine light on, brakes squeaking, whatever's wrong with your vehicle, bring it to Shawbills. Let them give it the once-over. And you can always schedule online, so it's convenient. ShawbillsTire.com. Find the location nearest you at ShawbillsTire.com. Shop tires online at ShawbillsTire.com. Be sure to ask about the Shawbills credit card as well, because you can save $50 off your first purchase when you use the Shawbills credit card only at Shawbills.
Friday edition of AFR, hour number 2, rolling on. Musso and Taylor in for Moscona. Brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar, as always. Now, welcome on a guy who's normally here around this time each Friday. That's Ryan Theriot. The Riot joins us. Ryan, how are you, man?
Doing well. How you guys doing?
Doing great. About a little less than an hour and a half now, heading into LSU, Kennesaw State. And obviously, we'll talk a lot of baseball here. But, I mean, before we even kind of look at this regional, just a look back. I mean, LSU in the SEC tournament, they go 1-2. Just kind of your takeaways from the experience in Hoover for this club.
You know, obviously, it was disappointing. You want to go and win more games than you did. And But when you're missing two guys like Barry and Doty out of your lineup, you know, that's a big deal. And there's not many teams in the country that have three hitters, Cruz, Doty, Barry, in their lineup, you know, and to say LSU's relied heavily on those guys, it's probably an understatement. You know, you're taking two of them out of the lineup, and so the other guys had to step up. And you know, it's not necessarily those guys coming out of the lineup for me as much as it is, you know, who goes in and plays for them, right? So, you know, it was kind of a double whammy as far as that goes. You know, I thought the game against Tennessee was encouraging. You know, if we have a couple more pieces offensively, you know, can you scratch some runs and make that one interesting? You know, in the game against Kentucky, look, I mean, it's a team playing for their survival, I guess you could say, and you know, you got a tough one there. But the Tennessee game was encouraging. I actually, after that game, felt pretty good about the situation, and you know, I think the club did as well. The guys that I talked to, I mean, they feel like they can play with them, they can beat them. Number one team in the country, and you know, hands down, not even close. And LSU was right there with them for most of the game. So I think they're in a good spot.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like they did, even without Barry and Doty, it felt like they did a really nice job of creating opportunities for themselves offensively. I mean, obviously in the first Kentucky game, they had 11 runs on 13 hits. That's great. But even in that Tennessee game, they were a ball falling in here, a ball falling in there, away from really sticking it to Tennessee, even without Barry and Doty.
Yeah, and listen, you're facing the best pitcher in the country.
Yeah.
You know, one of them. I mean, the best pitcher in the SEC for sure. And really good stuff. And yeah, they put some at-bats together. It was, like you said, man, right there in the first inning, it was almost like, you know, we needed that ball to fall. The kid made the great play in the outfield. You know, LSU it could have been a different game there, right? You know, Tennessee was expecting to put up some runs. LSU needed something good to happen offensively for it for it to get going, and it just never really got going. But, they're right there within striking distance the whole time.
Look, Ryan, we know this LSU team. They're gonna hit basically against everybody they play, and I think that's gonna happen tonight. Whether Doty and Barry are in the lineup or out. What I'm more concerned with is the pitching. What do you think Jay's gonna do with this rotation this weekend?
That's a good question. I talked to a few of the guys and then a couple of the coaches, yesterday and today, and tried to get some information out of them, but they was pretty tight-lipped. It's just been the same story all year long, and who throws second, and then it was really who throws first, and then Money pitched well, and then he had his struggles, right? So then it was McHale, and then now it's who throws second. We felt good about Sunde, and Sunde has kind of faltered a little bit. So, I tell you, in the postseason, this is when guys really step up, and you get some new faces. We saw it last year with Jay Coleman and come in and really throw well in the regional and the super. And so I'm hoping you get a new face, fresh face like that comes in and dominates. I feel good with McHale on the mound. You're gonna have to play defense behind him, but I feel good with him out there that he'll keep you in the ball game, and hopefully somebody else can step up.
Who do you look to maybe to be that fresh face, right? Look, obviously in the SEC tournament, it was Trent Vittmeyer against Tennessee. The guy threw 3 1/3 literal perfect innings against the best offense in college baseball. That's stepping up to a new level as best you can do it. Who maybe is that guy in the bullpen that you see this time around for LSU?
And I don't know. I've been a big fan of Gervais all year, and just felt like he could extend more. He's got the body, the size, the frame to do it. He's pitched well, so maybe him. I don't know. Could it be the lefty that's thrown the ball well all year? I don't know. It's tough to say which one of those guys I think is going to do it. But there are some capable arms that are down there, and look, coming out of the fall, I think it was Taylor. Coming out of the fall, everybody was talking about him, and they had a little injury and a couple bumps in the road. But there's capable guys down there. It's just who's gonna step up and win a ball game for you.
Offensively tonight, we mentioned getting Barry and Doty back. What realistically do you think expectations are for those guys' first game back after not playing in more than a week?
I think look. They're not going to have missed a beat. I feel pretty confident that they've been getting live at bats. From a hitter, you can go when pitchers are throwing bullpens, you can go and stand in the bullpens, right? And so everybody talks about timing being off and this and that, but the truth is I can go stand in a bullpen and see, or 2 or 3 bullpens and see a couple hundred pitches, and get my timing down. I'm not actually swinging the bat, but I'm seeing the ball and I'm getting my timing down. And Barry's had a few at bats right-handed, right? So his eyes ought to still be in good shape. And got a few hits. I know he didn't hit in the SEC tournament, but leading up to it, I don't think they miss a beat. I don't expect them to be rusty. I think that both of those guys will be locked in and ready to go.
I know Barry was taking some hacks left-handed as well. You think he returns to switch hitting, or is that just maybe still kind of work his way back into that, or would they not really even try that unless he's ready to do it?
I don't know for sure. I'd be lying if I told you I had an answer for, whether he was going to do it or not. But I would have to imagine he held him out. My guess is he held him out of the tournament so he could hit left-handed in the regional and super, and I know it's kind of a pain tolerance thing right now. And so, you're just hoping he feels good enough to swing the bat on the left side of the plate. Because let's be honest, man, he's a different hitter. And I hate to say that, but left-handed, he's dangerous. And not to say he's a bad right-handed hitter, but, man, I'd rather him up there hitting left-handed.
Yeah, you mentioned a pain tolerance with Barry. Look, another guy that's struggling with this pain tolerance, Gavin Dugas, and we hope he plays tonight. But, if he can't go, do you DH Barry and put somebody else in left field? What do you do there?
What was the first part of the question? I'm sorry.
With Gavin Dugas, his status up in the air. If he can't go, do you DH Barry? Do you keep Barry at third and DH somebody else? What lineup would you go with?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if depending on what you do at third, I like having Barry at third base. I think, Gavin is my guy. I mean, I make no bones about it. Musso knows. I mean, this has been for a long time, and I love the kid. But that being said, I mean, if he can't go, I don't think it kills you. You've got some young guys that have played the corner outfield positions that have brought some excitement to the team. I know the numbers for Stevenson don't jump off the page for you, but I think we're going to be talking in 2 or 3 years, y'all, and he's going to be a lock first round pick. So, is he a guy that could carry you? We know what Barry's going to do healthy. We know what Doty's going to do healthy. You know what Cruz is going to do. And so my question is, can we have a Josh? Can we have a Pearson type performance from somebody else? Can somebody else go 4 for 4 or 5 for 5? Because if they do, LSU walks through this regional.
So this is something that's really interesting to me, and I'd love your take on it. Like, LSU might face a lefty tonight, John Besnicek from Kennesaw State. The guy's going to be like 85 to 90 from the left side, big 6'3", 220 kid or whatnot. It's long been discussed this year that, LSU struggles against lefties. When you hear Jay Johnson talk, I can remember him back in the middle of the season saying, yeah, it might be a little overblown, and the lefties we faced have been really good. But do you think LSU actually struggles with lefties, or is it maybe just more of a mirage and it's something we make out to be more than it is?
No, man, I think they do struggle against lefties. I mean, I don't think the numbers lie in that regard, and that's kind of one of the beauties of baseball. You can look at the numbers and the matchups, and I mean, it is what it is. There's no sugarcoating that. There was a couple lefties early in the year that were like real dudes. Okay, I'll give him that, but for the most part, they have struggled. Now, why have they struggled? I think is what you got to ask yourself. I mean, you don't see a whole lot of them, right? Trey Morgan is a left-handed hitter. He's going to have problems with lefties. Pearson, left-handed hitter. He's going to have problems with lefties. Obviously you turn Barry around to the right side, so he's not as effective. So it changes your lineup a little bit when you have a lefty out there. And it's just an approach thing. I mean, to hammer a left-handed pitcher consistently, because let's be honest, they're not throwing in. Those kids are swinging aluminum bats. They're going to stay away for the most part. But to hit left-handed pitching consistently, you have to commit to the middle of the ballpark or to the middle of the field and the opposite field from a righty. And, this team is there's not many guys in this lineup other than Trey Morgan that can really drive the ball the other way consistently. Dylan does from time to time. When he's going really good, he does. But, you don't have the dude that's going to go and hit a double to right center field, to righty, consistently. And those are the guys that hammer lefties generally.
Ryan, we got to grab a break. Can you stick around for one more segment?
I would love to.
All right, so we're gonna throw Ryan on hold. We're gonna take a break and come back with more after further review. Friday's show brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We roll on next here on AFR.
AFR. Love telling you about River City's 1 hour air. 752-0001. 752-0001. Love telling you about River City's 1 hour air because I love telling you about great companies that treat people right. That's River City's 1 hour air. They make you feel valued, and they make you feel comfortable. When you schedule service with River City's 1 hour air, when technicians come into the house, you get a phone call, an email, and a text message alerting you the technician's on the way. You get a text message with a picture, a photo, name, and reviews of that technician who's coming to your house. They take the time to explain everything. They're very thorough. They have equipment on the truck because they're so big on continuing education. They have equipment on the truck other companies don't even own, never even heard of. River City's 1 hour air. Nights, holidays, weekends, they'll always come out. They'll never charge you extra. River City's 1 hour air. Got a problem with your home central AC? Call River City's 1 hour air. 752-0001.
Kids have staked out their place at Ochsner Medical Complex The Grove, where more than 30 pediatricians and pediatric specialists are all conveniently located under one roof, so you can spend less time driving and more time keeping your kids well. Yes! It's no wonder kids call dibs at The Grove. Ochsner Health Center for Children.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Visit Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the...
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Back here on a Friday edition of After Further Review. Joined on the phone by Ryan Theriot right now. Of course, Ryan normally here with Matt for the Riot Radio Hours every Friday, and those are presented by Bowie Outfitters. And Ryan, I got to say, I'm sitting here looking at two fishing rods on the desk right now, and I think you're here to kind of also tell us about those and about the good people at Bowie in general.
Well, I can tell you this, Father's Day is right around the corner, Moose, and yeah, and what better place to go get that Father's Day gift than Bowie Outfitters right there on Perkins Road? I mean, and I'm going to get you to talk about the rods because you're looking at them, but let's be honest, it's not just fishing gear or hunting gear. It's whatever you need. Does the man in your life need some new sunglasses? Possibly. They got those at Bowie Outfitters, right? Cooking, all that stuff, barbecue, boiling rig, the whole deal. I like knives. They got knives there. And if you just want to go pop a gun or a bow or something, it's at Bowie Outfitters as well. So like I said, Father's Day is right around the corner. I know they got some nice rods sitting in there. What brand are those, Moose? I can't see them.
This one right here looks like a Falcon.
Yeah, Falcon's good. Falcon's good. Yep. They got them all at Bowie, though. But Falcon, yeah, there's some good rods.
Falcon Coastal is what it says.
Falcon Coastal. Yeah, I'd recommend that. 100%. Yeah, go check them out at Bowie Outfitters. You can shop at BowieOutfitters.com or go in there and ask for Lee and tell them Ryan sent you.
That's where all Terrier's presents, Father's Day presents are coming from.
Ryan, quick question. You an open reel guy or you like it closed?
Doesn't matter. I mean, if I'm saltwater fishing, probably an open face. Most of the time, I'll use the braided line, so that's kind of hard to do with the closed face, obviously. But like inshore, open face, really just depending on what kind of fish I'm going after. If I'm going after bass, closed face, or sac-a-lait, open, and then probably open if I'm on the coast.
There you go. I'm an open face guy myself.
Sac-a-lait is delicious. That's what I will contribute to the fishing conversation. Back to baseball, Ryan. We got a few more for you here before we let you go. Your time is absolutely appreciated. LSU, so look, we kind of talked about pitching. We talked about the offense and Barry and Doty making their return and things of that nature. If LSU is to win this regional, which, look, let's be honest, they're the betting favorite to do that. They are the most talented team top to bottom of the four here. I think that's pretty much kind of an inarguable fact when you look at draft rankings or things of that nature. But if LSU is to win this regional, what does that look like in your estimation? I mean, is this a team that can come through the losers bracket?
Well, can they come through the losers bracket in this regional?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. If you just go player for player, LSU should win this, and that's generally what I do when I'm trying to match up and see if a team has a chance to win it. I'll just go position to position, and then starting pitching and then bullpen. I think Southern Miss has an advantage from a starting pitching standpoint. The problem with that is Tanner Hall went today for Southern Miss, who's their ace, Baton Rouge kid. Don't get me started on why he's at Southern Miss. But so take him out. I mean, he's a Golden Spikes finalist, semifinalist rather. So they're down their best. So LSU, they got a good shot. And listen, I don't think this could have happened any better for the Tigers. Ole Miss is playing some good ball right now. I think Mike has them prepared for this little stretch, this run. They're getting healthy. They can win down in Miami. And if they win that regional, then LSU's hosting a super against Ole Miss. Now, I didn't like the matchup last time the Rebs came to Baton Rouge, but it's hard to continue to beat people in the game of baseball, right? You're going to win a couple every once in a while. So, we could look up in a couple weeks and see the Tigers in Omaha, which is something that, I don't think I would have said 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Did you ever play at the Pete? Did you ever play in Hattiesburg and Southern Miss at the Pete when you were at LSU?
No,
Okay,
no,
I didn't think so.
I'm familiar with the park, and their shortstop is a kid that I actually babysat when I was in minor leagues. Dustin Dickerson. His dad was my coach for 4 or 5 years, minor leagues and in the major leagues, and so I've been to Southern Miss to see Dustin play, and then obviously Coach Tanner at Traction, and so I'm pretty familiar with those guys.
He's pretty good. I've looked at his numbers and all the honors he got. Yeah, Dustin Dickerson's a pretty good player. I think he's hitting like 350 something. It's absurd. He's not bad.
Yeah, and really wanted to be a Tiger. So don't get me started on that one either.
Okay, we won't with that either. Yeah, I mean, look, whenever you mentioned Tanner Hall, I watched a little of him pitch early, and I was like, yeah, the changeup plays for sure. That was a pretty filthy pitch that he had there for sure. All right, well then, man, look, I hope they get it done. It looks like it. And you mentioned the matchup against Ole Miss potentially, and you didn't like it. Why didn't you like that? I mean, look, you were obviously correct. It went horribly in the box.
Yeah.
But, why didn't you like that, and why may it be different this time around?
Well, this Ole Miss team, it's a veteran team. It's basically same guys from last year, right? Offensively, I think they were prepared for the series probably a little bit better than LSU was. Just from a player standpoint. Now, I felt like they came to Baton Rouge and they knew exactly what they were getting into, and we saw that play out on the field. The second time around, obviously those things are going to be different, or you hope they would be a little bit different. I like the matchup for that simple reason. The law of averages, right? Like, I think we're going to eventually get a few, but I'm not saying it's an easy matchup, but I like the fact that it's at the box and that I can go to it, right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Ryan, on the way out here, I do have to ask, I mean, hurricane season started this week, and, man, we've had a lot of them here in Louisiana, and they are especially tough on roofs. You know where anybody can go to if that happens to be a problem?
Moose, I tell you, bro, I mean, that's why I'm not there right now. I mean, I've been on roofs all day long. It's amazing. It's getting them prepared, getting them ready, right? If you don't, here's the deal, and this is where people go wrong, right? The roof is expensive, Moose. I'm going to be honest with you. It's expensive. You don't know you have damage on your roof. You want to know why?
Why's that?
Because nobody in their right mind is going to walk around on their roof. They don't want to fall and break their neck.
It's true.
So what you should do is you should call Hudco Roofing and let me come up there and inspect your roof before the storm comes. we can fix some of this stuff before it happens and gets too bad, right? We've been encouraging all of our clients, just let's do an inspection now. Let us get up on the roof, see if there's anything wrong, any damage, anything we can mitigate prior to storm season. That way you don't have to go through the hassle of leaks and getting a whole re-roof.
Hudco Roofing. HudcoRoofing.com.
That's right.
If I was at the board, I'd play the jingle, but I'm not at the board. I'm at the desk, so otherwise we'd do that. Ryan,
you're my guy, Moose. Thanks, bro.
We appreciate the time.
I like the shout out.
Hey, look, man, you gotta. I might have had a little birdie hit the phone up and give the reminder, but it worked. We got it in, and that's all that matters. And HudcoRoofing.com.
There you go. Attaboy.
Appreciate the time, man. Thanks for hopping on with us.
Okay, brother. See you.
All right, that's Ryan Theriot. Matt Musso, Taylor Sharp. We're filling in for Ronnie Rantz, who was filling in for Matt Moscona, who was on vacation right now. Matt will be back on Monday, back in the chair. He'll recap the Hattiesburg Regional. Hopefully, we're talking about LSU playing in a super and we're not putting a button on the season.
That'd be nice, right?
That would be nice. I think Matt would actually enjoy that being the conversation instead of
shoulda, coulda, woulda type thing.
Not that he didn't enjoy his week out, because I'm sure he did. But, I mean, it's been a pretty jam-packed week with SEC meetings, with the regional and things of that nature. And, I mean, to come back and one of the first things you have to talk about potentially being the season being over, we don't want that. And we're not going to think like that. They're going to win it. They're going to go on. And, look, I'm telling you this. Someone's going to win. Someone else is going to win in Coral Gables if it ever stops raining there.
If they ever play in Coral Gables.
We're going to talk about a super regional being hosted at the box. That's what Matt's going to talk about.
I'm with you, man. I'm liking the good vibes on Friday.
That's what I'm here for. But yeah, you're right. If it ever stops raining, I mean, it might rain so hard in Coral Gables that animals might start showing up 2 by 2. Like it's bad there right now.
It's close, man.
It's coming down. I don't know why they ever thought they were ever going to play at like 10 a.m. this morning either. That was stupid. Like that was what the SEC did all week in Hoover. They just floated out game times just to do it, to get everybody's hopes up, when you knew good and well they were never going to play at there was a 95% chance of rain at 10 a.m. in Coral Gables. Why would you schedule a game at that time to beat the rain?
Probably because it was 95% the whole day.
It's 95% tomorrow, too, all day.
That was like Hoover.
There's a tropical storm going there.
Oh, I'm aware.
They need Hudco Roofing, potentially.
They do. They might.
See, I got y'all an extra one in there. I got y'all an extra one in there. Matt, Ryan, you're welcome. You're welcome for that. I didn't have to do that. I did it, though.
You didn't? I mean, that was
I did it, though.
That was a gratuitous shout out there.
It was, yeah. Gratuitous. That's a great word. Gratitude, gratuity, all those things. We need it. We're going to grab a break. Come back on the other side. We're going to close out hour number 2 of After Further Review. That is actually the last segment of Taylor and me. Then I'm going back behind the board. And then Tommy Krysan will be in here for the final hour of the show.
Wait, there's another host?
There's another host.
Stop it.
There's another host. Yeah. We're going to make another call to the bullpen.
Okay.
Casey's got to get out. Casey's ready to go home.
Yeah.
I mean, Casey's been here all week just like all of us. He's ready to go home. So I'm going to go back, take my rightful spot behind the board. Tommy Krysan's going to come in.
Okay, and then he's finishing it out, or is it?
Yeah, from 5 to 6.
Maybe if things get hairy, then we may have to call in.
He'll have Damon Sunde at 5. That Ronnie left me this post-it note. He'll have Damon Sunde at 5.
Ronnie's so official, man.
Yeah, I love it. Ronnie might also be the only person who still uses Post-it notes at this. I mean,
he actually specifically requested that from Casey Gaines. Specifically said, all I need is a Post-it note. But he actually needed like 5.
I mean, look, we love Ruger. He's great. Baton Rouge Rougarou. Look, I'm going to get him a gratuitous shout-out. Baton Rouge Rougarou, home opener on Tuesday. Apparently, I got a VIP wristband. I'm excited about that. That's
VIP wristband?
It's going to be good. I don't know. Ronnie came in and said, you want to go to the Rougarou game? I said, sure. Why not? I love baseball. He goes, all right. Well, here we go. But, I mean, he could have just, put this in a note and shot me a text.
Or one of those things, what are they called? Google Docs. Those things?
Google Doc, yeah.
That would have worked.
And we use those a lot here at Guarantee Media.
Maybe a whole sheet of paper would have worked.
Could be. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. You think you kill less trees with Post-it notes or with a whole sheet of paper?
Well, see, I'm not worried about that either
I'm
way.
Not either.
I'm just, I would say the sheet of paper.
You should see the paper we print out for between early line and then AFR in those 4 hours. It's a lot of paper.
It is. It looks like Twilight books sitting on the table.
I was just posing a question. But yeah, so Damon Sunde is going to be here with Tommy Krysan, then Buzzy Haydel, and then Joel Davis. So that's the third hour of the show. And I'm going back behind the board. We're going to break right now. And we'll be back to close out hour number 3. Hour number 2. I'm doing it again, trying to get to the weekend. Hour number 2 of AFR next here on ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. Remember the Baton Rouge General Express Care locations, brgeneral.org. Whatever symptoms you may be having, if you need to see a doctor quickly, but you don't want to go to the ER, and maybe it's going to take a while till you can get in to see your doctor, just look up one of the Baton Rouge General Express Care locations. You can check in online. Go to brgeneral.org. There's the check-in online tab right there, brgeneral.org. And they got locations all over Baton Rouge, from Dutchtown to bordering LSU's campus and points in between. The Nicholson location is directly across from Tiger Stadium, and the Highland Road location is just through the south gates of LSU, right there in the shopping center. The Baton Rouge General Express Care and Urgent Care locations, walk-in urgent care 7 days a week for all the symptoms and what they treat. Check it out online at brgeneral.org. To check in online, it's right there at brgeneral.org.
3 people walk into a bar. The first 2 order the same old marks. The third, Nuevo Topo Chico Margarita Hard Seltzer, crafted with real lime juice and a crisp tequila flavor. Topo Chico Margarita Hard Seltzer.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com, 288-8138, 288-8138, or ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, vinyl siding, they do it all. And at Relief Windows, they will never take $1 from you until you are thrilled with the work. Seriously, no deposit, no down payment. They do not want $1 from you until you are thrilled with the work that they do. That's Relief Windows. And what a time of year. We are moving to the winter months, and this is the time of year when those leaky, drafty windows can become costly. Of course, lets the cold air in, the warm air from your heater out. Make your home more energy efficient. Lower your monthly energy bills. Increase your home's resale value with energy efficient replacement windows from Relief Windows. 288-8138 or reliefwindows.com.
All right, about 5 more minutes here in hour number 2 of After Further Review, Friday show presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. And then, again, Tommy Krysan will be in for the final hour of the show. In this last 5 minutes, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I was hoping we'd have a lineup posted for LSU baseball by now.
Nothing.
We don't. I mean, they don't. It's normally an hour before first pitch. I was like, well,
which, by the way, we still have another hour before first pitch.
We do. Yeah, you're right. I know. I've been trying my best to speed time up.
I got a text from a mutual friend. Told me to tell you you're 0 for a lifetime on guessing the time. So
I am, and you know it's bad. There's a giant clock on a television right in front of me, but. Look, it's been a long. It's just for a 4-day week. It's kind of drug by a little bit, but it's fine. We're making it through. It's been an interesting day here, to say the least, as well. So we're making it through. But the good news is, and we're gonna nail it this time. In an hour and 9 minutes. Well, wait. Now in an hour and 9 minutes, LSU's gonna play baseball, and they're gonna open up regional play, and it's a great time. It's just if you're a college baseball fan, this is a great day. I mean, look, Taylor, I've been tracking a 16-leg parlay all day about the 1 seeds trying to beat every 4 seed. Why?
You have turned me into a degenerate, by the way. I am following this, and I would never have bet a 16-team college baseball parlay, but you talked me into it, so here we are. Until I thought
you don't
understand.
And I was just like, this is actually a good idea.
You don't understand. I put $6. I put $6 on this. I have a lot riding on these games. Okay.
And with the odds, hell, $6 wins what? Like 112?
It was 115.
Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that? You could. Oh man, I lose $6. It's $6. What if you turn $6 into 115?
You could. Yeah. Look,
I would never advise a 16-leg parlay unless it's something like this.
Far. It's looking good so far.
It is looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Of course, we're probably got to sweat until potentially if this thing starts 15-0. Well, you got 2 of these games that are going to be delayed. Obviously, Miami and Canisius, they aren't playing probably till Sunday. And then Notre Dame and Texas Tech at Statesboro are in a rain delay in the bottom of the first inning. That game started at 1 o'clock. They're still in rain delay. So I don't think Georgia Southern and
they're not playing tonight. No.
Who I don't remember. UNC Greensboro. I don't think they're playing tonight either. So if this thing starts 13-0, I mean, Tennessee's probably going to beat Alabama State by 30.
Look, you're going to have me.
Stanford was up by 9 in the second inning.
I'm supposed to go to the movies with my fiance tonight, and you're going to have me pulling out my phone in the middle of the theater.
Can't do that. You have to silence your phone and turn the brightness down.
No, it'll be silenced, but I'm still going to take my phone out. I mean, this is America. I'll do what I want.
Okay.
But look, I mean, I'm hoping to get out of it though. Maybe take her out to a romantic dinner at like one of the sports bars in Baton Rouge and watch some of the games there. And she doesn't listen, and that's what I'm dressed for a sports bar. Speaking of,
no,
we're not my
talk,
shirt?
I don't. We're not going to talk about that.
There's a goat on it.
No, there's not. There's number 12.
There's a goat on it.
We're not going to talk about that. You're wearing a that. No, we're moving.
You don't
on
like the
back.
Buccaneers?
I don't like the Buccaneers.
Well, see, I'm not a Saints fan, so it doesn't.
I know. I don't like your team either. The Cowboys are stupid too.
I'm not a Saints fan. It's just like if they lose, is my week ruined? No, not really. So I respect greatness when I see it. So I'm repping Tom Brady.
Moving on from that, we'll get you an update here around regional baseball before we hand things off for the final hour. So Binghamton's actually making a little bit of a comeback on Stanford. It's 10-6 in the middle of the 5th. How about this for an upset? San Diego, the University of San Diego, they are up 3-0 on the Vanderbilt Commodores in the top of the 7th inning in that game. That's the first game of the Corvallis Regional. Vanderbilt went with Carter Holton today, man, and I really liked that decision from them. He'd been on a massive tear down the stretch. He was up to some odd like 24 straight scoreless innings, the true freshman lefty for Vanderbilt, who seems next in line. That's who they ran out there in the first inning. The Doors committed 2 errors, and it led to an unearned run, and it's kind of just been going from there. San Diego obviously started their ace, and he's been really, really good, and Vandy's offense has struggled, and they're in a bind. They are absolutely in a bind there. Most all the other games have gone final, so to get you up to date, Texas A&M, they beat Oral Roberts 8-2. Louisville beat Southeast Missouri State 7-2. North Carolina 15-4 over Hofstra. Southern Miss, they're off to the winners bracket in Hattiesburg, 2-0 over the Army Black Knights. The Texas Longhorns were 11-3 winners over Air Force. East Carolina, no problem with Coppin State, 17-1. Oklahoma, who many think has a great chance to come out of Gainesville, 16-3 over Liberty. Here's an upset. Columbia, the Lions, 8-2 over Gonzaga. Arkansas, 7-1 over Grand Canyon. Connecticut, 8-7 over Wake Forest. That's in College Park. And Campbell, the Camels, 15-8 over Georgia Tech. Florida State was a 5-3 winner over UCLA in the first game of the Auburn Regional. And then San Diego Vanderbilt and Stanford Binghamton. Those are the only other games underway right now. You have a whole other slate getting underway at 5 o'clock. So, man, look, it's a great day to watch college baseball. It's a great weekend for college baseball, the first round of the NCAA tournament. That does it for hour number 2 of After Further Review. Hour number 3 is on deck, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar here on a Friday. Stick around.
AFR.
We remind you about Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com. That's where you can check them out, Michelli.com. Remember, at Michelli, they do offer ISO 17025 accreditation. You can learn more at Michelli.com and other accreditations and standard calibrations as well. Michelli.com, Michelli.com. All of their different services and products are at the website. The website is a great virtual font of resources. So many times clients will say, oh, I didn't know you did that. So go to Michelli.com. The track system that they offer is a great asset. Track records, assets, and calibrations. It's an acronym. And what this allows you to do is track the status of the calibration of your devices. And then it also gives you a record of those calibrations at your fingertip online for free, 24/7, 365, so you can be more efficient. Michelli Weighing and Measurement.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $5,000 off the new 2022 Wagoneer. We have Wagoneers in stock with $5,000 off. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is Sports Center.
Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins. Joe Girardi has been fired as manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies are 22-29, 12 games behind the Mets in the NL East. Bench coach Rob Thompson will serve as interim manager for the rest of the season. On the field today, the hit streak strikes gold once again.
The 1-1 pitch to Goldie is hit into right center field, and this is going to be tough to play, and it's because it's over the wall. It carried into the bleachers. Jason Hayward had a beat on it and looked up, and the ball just flew right over his head.
Paul Goldschmidt with a 3-run home run, now a 25-game hitting streak. And that's the Cardinals radio network with the call. Cardinals beat the Cubs at Wrigley 14-5. At the French Open, Rafa Nadal on to another men's final. He beats Alexander Zverev after Zverev injures his ankle late in the second set, going into the tiebreak. Nadal now on to the final against the 8th seed Casper Ruud of Norway. That'll be set for Sunday.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. That's right.
Good afternoon and welcome into After Further Review. I'm Tommy Krysan, a little pinch hitting job here. I'm glad to be here, glad to have you there. We'll take care of the next hour for you, getting you ready for Friday. It's NCAA tournament time, and that's a lot of fun. And we're going to get going right away. We're going to take it over to the Plains, the Auburn Regional. Damon Sunde, the Sports Information Director of Southeastern Baseball. Lions about an hour away from first pitch. Damon, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, TK?
And it's great to hear your voice. You and I go back quite a ways in this whole radio world and all that.
Yes, we do.
Hey, I want a couple of things real quick. A lot of people like the way the Southland Conference did the postseason tournament with the 1 and 2 seed hosting a couple, 3 other teams and doing the deal, then 1 and 2 meeting. Talk about the feedback that you have heard about the way the Southland did the postseason tournament format.
It's all been positive, and there have been a few other conferences that have reached out to kind of get feedback to make sure that, obviously they like the format, but execution-wise, how did it go? Did it work as well as we thought it would, and things like that? And everything was as good as it could be imagined. I mean, it was basically a regional, super regional format over a span of 2 weeks, and it worked perfectly. You gave your top 2 teams kind of incentive or rewarded them for being the top 2 seeds. They each got to host 1 and 2, their half of the bracket, and then the top remaining seed host the championship series the next weekend. And I think it worked out well for everybody because, one, obviously you get a week ahead of everybody else where everybody's kind of paying attention to what's going on in the tournament. And then on top of that, for the health of the student athletes and everything else, you didn't extend your pitching, any of that kind of stuff, and you actually, for a championship series, like they did in Omaha a few years ago where they went to the best of 3, you have a chance to have a truer baseball champion, so to speak. You're actually playing a series to win it instead of a tournament.
Another thing I like, it was good for the fans, okay? Because let's just use this year's example. If the tournament was in Conway, Arkansas, like it was many years ago when I called the final on ESPN, and Southeastern is playing McNeese, not near as many fans as there was in Lake Charles and the 2 out of 3. So, a lot of times the fans don't get a lot of attention when they make decisions like that. But I think this was good for all the fans of the Southland Conference, so they could make their plans. Everybody's pretty much can drive to whatever ballpark, who would ever be the 1 or the 2 seed. So I think that was a really good thing as well. Now let's take it to Lake Charles, best out of 3 against McNeese, a team that had swept Southeastern previously. And you guys lose game 1, backs to the wall, and find a way to get it done. Talk about winning that game 2 and 3 to earn the automatic bid.
The funny thing is, the way this team has played this year, I actually felt better being down 0-1 in that series than I probably would. I mean, it'd been nice to be up 1-0, but there's something about this team this year that once they have their backs up against the wall, that's when they really kick it into high gear. I mean, you're looking at 14 comeback victories this year. 7 of those are walk-offs. Right at half of your losses are 1 or 2 run losses this year. So they're used to playing tight ball games, kind of scrapping. Like there's really been 2 halves to the season for this team, and there were so many injuries preseason. Got off to a rough start. Yeah, you had some big wins over Arkansas and Ole Miss early, where the coaching staff was still kind of trying to figure out this ball club. And then that once they kind of got through that and everybody kind of settled on some roles, the team really took off. And so there was a lot of confidence, even being down 0-1 in that championship series, that, hey, we got this. We've been doing this all year long. What had they done for the last 2 months was went 22-11. So they won 2 out of every 3 ball games for the last 2 months of the season. So all they had to do going into that championship series was win 2 out of 3. It just, whatever order it may have been, and it just so happened they had to win the last 2.
We're visiting with Damon Sunde at Alliance Sports Radio Network and the communications office. Damon, you've been around the Alliance program for a long time. Considering the big picture, can it be argued that this might be one of Matt Riser and his staff's best coaching jobs with the injuries that affected the team, and then, the way the first half of the season went? Arguably, I mean, he found a way to push the right buttons.
He did, and it took him a little while to kind of get some guys up to speed, because you're talking in the fall what was targeted as your starting rotation, and I'm talking games 1 through 4, weekend into midweek. You lost 3 of those 4 before the season started. And then the last month here of the season, when everything really kicked into high gear, Will Kinsler, who was the only one left out of that group, has been nursing a knee injury and not been at 100%. He's found a way to gut it out and pick up some wins in some big games. And, you had guys that – so case in point, you lose 3 starting pitchers, you got to go find some starting pitchers somewhere else on the staff, and you bump up a guy who was targeted to possibly be one of your either the closer or work in tandem with another guy. He gets bumped into the starting rotation. Well, he has a couple good starts, and then after that, it's really not familiar, really not comfortable for him, and all of a sudden he goes 3 consecutive starts and pitches a combined total of 4 innings. And that was not by design. That was not an opener situation. That was needing to get innings out of an arm. So they decide to move him to the bullpen. Since they move him to the bullpen, all of a sudden he's got an ERA under 3.5 and is the first guy out the bullpen. So it's just finding guys like that, okay, maybe you're not comfortable doing this. Let's try this. And it just kind of fits. And then you got guys that, hey, you've been waiting 2 years. When are you going to finally take off? When are you're going to hit that point of maturity where you can handle the environment, and you got a couple guys that finally step up and do that as well. So it took a little bit, and, some of those guys may not have ever been put in those situations if it's not for the injuries. So they stepped up, and that's kind of been the story of this ball club.
Well, and you got to credit the coaching staff, led by Matt Riser, because as we know in college baseball, you can't call up somebody from AAA or AA. You can't make a trade. You can't, have tryouts. I mean, roster's locked in, so it's a great job there. All right, let's fast forward. I said this morning on Sports George Daily with Ronnie Rantz. This morning you had 64 teams that had 0 wins, 0 losses. So it's time to play ball.
Yep.
Anything can happen. Southeastern is the 4 seed. Back in 2008, Fresno State was a 4 seed in their regional. They won the College World Series in Omaha. So anything can happen. You got to line up and play. As the old saying goes, you got to get 27 outs. Talk about the mindset of the Lions and the health of the Lions about an hour away from the contest against the Auburn Tigers.
Health is about what it's been for the last 2 months. Your ace is a little banged up and is quite frankly iffy for the weekend, but other than that, you've got everybody that you've been counting on for the last 2 months that has carried this ball club. So in that respect, I think there's a sense of confidence that, hey, we can go in and make some noise. And if we take care of business, and that's one of the things that, Coach Reiser and his coaching staff, the focus is always on internally. We're not going to worry about, the other team this, the other team that. Yes, we're going to do our scouting reports, all of that kind of stuff, and they're going to be educated on what the opponent and who the opponent is. But you have to take care of business, and it's focus on yourself, focus on what you can do, and if we play like we're capable of, he tells them, then it'll all work out in the end.
Talk about the starting pitcher for the Lions tonight, about an hour away from first pitch. Tell us about him.
Left-hander Adam Guth. He's a freshman out of Lake Charles. He pitched in high school for the powerhouse Barb Buccaneers over there. And so he's been in situations like this plenty of times in his career. And that's one of the things that Coach Reiser and the pitching coach Jerry Salisbury really like about Adam Guth is that everything just kind of rolls off his back. He doesn't get flustered. He's been in these championship situations before. I think it was his first career start or second career start against Ole Miss earlier this year when they came to the Pat as the number 1 ranked team in the nation, and he held the Rebels at bay for 5 innings and looked like he had done it his whole career. And that's kind of what they're expecting out of him tonight. He's a little bit different look than most SEC teams will get. He's big. He's not a soft-tossing left-hander, but he's also not a hard thrower. So it's kind of in between. And so it's something that SEC ball clubs, at least the last couple of years, haven't been seeing a lot of.
All right,
so hoping that matches up well,
Talk about some of the guys that will have to get the job done at the plate, I'm sure led by Faulkner, but who's some of the guys that Matt Rogers is going to, if you're going to win the game, guys are going to have to perform at the plate, driving people in or getting on base. Talk about that.
It's really the top half of this lineup that really has carried them over the course of the year. Still has tweaked, and there's some guys struggling at the bottom of the lineup, but they can provide a spark here and there. But if the Lions are going to go offensively, obviously Faulkner's going to be leading the charge. Shea Thomas batting cleanup behind him, protecting him. Evan Keller and Rhett Rosevear at the top of the lineup getting on base. If you can get some production out of Tyler Finke or Christian Garcia or the DH Pierce Levengood, who has a lot of potential, a lot of power in his bat, but has been in and out of the lineup all year. If some of those guys can kind of get going, then that's going to make things a little bit easier.
We're talking with Damon Sunde at the Lions Sports Radio Network. Southeastern will play Auburn shortly. Earlier today in the Auburn Regional, Florida State defeated UCLA 5-3. That's the final. So the Lions and the Auburn Tigers will square off here in just a little bit. And I'm sure there's going to be quite a few fans from Hammond and Tangipahoa Parish that are going to be over there supporting the Lions. Have you seen a lot of green and gold, Damon?
I have, but as this ballpark is starting to fill, because I know where we're sitting, but I see a lot of orange and navy in this ballpark right now. So hopefully Lion Nation can be loud and proud here this evening.
Damon, I really appreciate your time at a very busy time, and it's my understanding you and I are going to work a couple of Baton Rouge Rougarou Texas Collegiate games together this summer. I am looking forward to that.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we go back 25 years or so in the world of radio, so that's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm certainly glad to be able to visit with you today, and we'll do this again down the road. Thank you, Damon.
Hey, thank you, TK.
All right, that's Damon Sunde over there in Auburn. Lions going to take on Auburn in just a little bit. And, of course, it's LSU Kennesaw State going within the hour as well. I'm Tommy Krysan. Glad to be here. Glad to have you there, filling in for Matt Moscona on After Further Review. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. Buzzy, Haydel. I got a couple of things to talk to old Buzzy about. We'll have some fun right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
AFR. I am so thrilled to welcome Schutz Electric to the AFR family. Generac automatic standby generators. When the power goes out, your Generac home standby generator from Schutz Electric goes to work. CESofLA.com. CESofLA.com. Last year during Ida, we lost power for nearly a week. So many of you lived that again. That was the last straw for me and my family. Actually, it was the last straw for Erica. She was like, get a generator. So we did. We got an automatic standby generator from Generac over at with the folks at Schutz Electric. And the great thing about Schutz is last year after Ida, when generators were so hard to come by and everybody was trying to get them, John Schutz did an amazing thing. He went and bought a whole bunch of them, even though they were on months-long order. Well, now they have a ton of inventory, and they are ready to install, and they only use in-house installers. It's more affordable than you think for a Generac home standby generator from Schutz Electric. Look them up online, CESofLA.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, Front-to-Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to front-to-backboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front-to-Back Boat Service.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit GarciaDidMyRoof.com.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria,
brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. If you want to look and feel like your younger self, the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana makes that happen. Hormone replacement therapy, you don't need an appointment. When you're on routine therapy, you go in on your given day, whichever day is best for you. You're in and out in less than 10 minutes. The Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. A simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate for hormone replacement therapy. Feel better. So many times you don't know how bad you feel until you start feeling good again. They can help you out. TheAntiAgingClinics.com, TheAntiAgingClinics.com.
We continue it after further review. I'm Tommy Krysan, pinch hitting for Matt Moscona on this Friday afternoon. Hope everybody had a wonderful week, getting ready for a nice weekend. I'm glad to be here, glad to have you there. And right now I'm joined by Buzzy Haydel. We've done a lot of radio stuff, even some TV stuff over the year, but he is the last guy to hit a home run at the old Alec Box Stadium, so I had to go with that intro. Buzzy, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Tommy. Good to be with you. It never gets old, so I appreciate you doing that. When we did the little TV show a few years ago, I remember I used to play the clip every time I was on, and makes the guy feel special.
Well, you know, they say records are made to be broken. Well, that's one that cannot be broken because there's never going to be an old Alec Box Stadium in the old location where you buggy whip that ball out of the park, as you said, right?
That's right. What a lot of good memories in that old stadium, of course, from over the years. And LSU looking to make some memories of their own this year over in Hattiesburg.
Hey, before we get to that, I got a text from a mutual friend today who I haven't heard from in 7 or 8 months. Mitch Small texted me about breaking his foot, and he can't wait to play golf again, and he's cheering for the Lions tonight over at Auburn and all that good stuff. I hadn't heard from Mitch for a long time.
He's of course, that's related to me. I don't tell many people that. But, yeah, Mitch was with the LHSAA for years, and he's got a little injury going right now. Rumor is it's just his pinky toe. I've never seen a man go down with just a pinky toe for 4. We're pushing 6 months now. I hope he's listening. I hope he gets back to him. I'm obviously kidding a little bit, but hopefully he gets back to healthy here shortly, and I can get back to whipping him on the golf course.
Buzzy, you've seen the Tiger baseball team play a whole lot, called a lot of the games on the radio and watched them when you weren't calling it. A team that at times has looked like a really top-notch baseball team, looked like an LSU baseball team. And there was other spots during the season when things didn't go like anybody wanted them to go. But, you know, they're supposed to get Barry back. They're supposed to get Doty back. What do you think about the Tigers going into this Hattiesburg Regional, just kind of the overall thought on where they are right now?
Well, you know, it's funny because this team, I said this a couple times over the last few weeks, for how good they can be, or I should say it like this, Tommy, for how much talent is on that team, and for the games that they play where they just don't look like they're ever going to lose a game, for so much talent on that team, they can look so bad at times. And I get it. Look, you were a baseball guy, TK. Obviously, I was a baseball guy. We're baseball. We know the game of baseball. There's ups and downs. That's why there's so many games, because you got to have a big sample size to figure out who the best team in college baseball is. So there's definitely concerns, but you know, the season's so long, and you only got to get hot when it really matters. And they've done enough of a job to get in the tournament. They've got the bid. And fortunately, wasn't able to host this year. But when I'll be honest with you, I thought they were gonna. I had a long discussion with Charlie Hanagriff at the big Rantz and the Night Away over at the varsity the other night, and he was adamant that they wouldn't. And he not that he didn't want them to, he just had facts to back that up. And of course, he was right. So I was surprised a little bit that they didn't host, but they get into the tournament. That's really, you know, check that off the list. They're in the tournament. We've seen the stories before where teams that get in, you know, get hot and win a national championship. Fresno State, Coastal Carolina a few years ago in 2006. I mean, these teams get in, they get hot, they go win a national championship. They didn't have the pedigree that LSU has as well, or the name recognition or the history. So if anybody can do it, LSU can. And look, this is no knock on Southern Miss or anybody in that regional, and there's no knock on the super regional that they're paired with. But if you were if you are a Tiger fan, that is the regional and that is the super regional you want to be paired with. I mean, that's just it's never easy to get to Omaha, but that's as easy a path as you're going to get if you look at all the teams involved and the proximity of LSU fans traveling to Hattiesburg and all those things that you know, all those factors. You got to like LSU's chances, but they've got to find. They can't, you know, they've got to find some arms too. TK, I know you know that, but they've got to figure out some guys that can start and get, you know, 4 or 5 innings if they want to have any chance of holding the big trophy.
Well, one odd thing about this team, and I think it works in their favor, is they were better on the road than they were at home. They were 10-5 on the road in the SEC, and we know what a gauntlet that is. You know, 10 weekends of 3-game series that are just unbelievable, best in the country. There's no tougher conference schedule played by anybody. But they, you know, mentally they got to be thinking, hey, on the road we'll be okay. We went to Vanderbilt and got 3 wins. I mean, in a tough place. Let's go to Southern Miss, Pete Taylor Park, artificial turf. The weather won't be a factor, and go play the best baseball we can. I'm like you. I think they have a great chance. I don't want to get ahead of it, but they have a great chance, as you said. When you look at the other 3 teams in Auburn and who they might be matched up with in Coral Gables if the Tigers win and all of that. And, I mean, played a good baseball that they're capable of playing. They can hit the ball. The pitching at times has been really good. Defense, a big problem, has actually been a little better in the last couple of weeks or so. So, hey, Jay Johnson's done a good job with this team on a first-year thing when you got that learning curve of learning the players and the players learning the coaching staff. And now, hey, you're in the tournament. And like I said, this morning everybody was 0-0 on the record sheet this morning, and now anything can happen. Ask Fresno State in 2008 when, you know, they were a 4 seed and they won the whole thing. Coastal Carolina came right through Baton Rouge 2016, I think it was, and won the whole thing. So I think everybody's aware of that, and wow, you know, we'll just see. There'll be a lot of Tiger fans over there in Hattiesburg. Southern Miss did defeat Army 2-0 earlier today, and they threw their stud, Tanner Hall, the kid from Zachary. So, and he threw 8 innings today, so he's probably, I'm pretty much sure he's done for the weekend. But they went to try to win the game. Who might you think Jay Johnson puts on the mound tonight?
Well, I think he'd be. Look, I don't know.
Look it up. I should have done this.
Well, the scouting. You know, look. Let me say this. I haven't looked at one stat from Kennesaw State. I haven't seen one game. I haven't. You know, they've done more video watching and all that. Okay, so they know if maybe this team works. You know, doesn't hit as well against lefties, or you know, all the things that goes into scouting teams. But I mean, you know, me sitting in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in an insurance office at 5:26 on a Friday afternoon. I'm going to go with Mikhail Hilliard.
Well, and I just pulled the lineup up. Hilliard is the starting pitcher.
Yeah, he's been the most consistent. I mean, look, that tells you everything you need to know about what you just said about the Southern Miss and Army game. Southern Miss throws their stud against the 4 seed in Army, and just because it's a 4 seed, that when a team gets in the tournament, TK, there's 2 things. They've done enough throughout the season to get through a tournament, so they're a good team, or they're playing really hot baseball and they've won their conference tournament. And so both of those things make every opponent in the tournament tough. It doesn't matter if they're a 4 seed, 1 seed, 2 seed, or 3. So that right there tells you everything you need to know. Southern Miss throws their stud against Army because they're not taking anybody for granted. Not that LSU would be taking Kennesaw State for granted either, but you throw your best, you get the win, and then you worry about the next game when it gets here.
That's exactly how I look at it. I said that on Sports Shorts Daily with Ronnie Rantz this morning. I said, if it's up to me, which it's not, I said, I'm going with Hilliard. He's the best guy, and you win this game. And then just what you said, Buzzy, then you win this game, and then you figure out who's the best to go against the opponent, which in this case, if they win, will be Southern Mississippi tomorrow evening. So it's going to be fun. A lot of scoreboard watching going on around the country as well. There's 3 other Louisiana teams all playing, you know, within the next half hour or an hour. So it's a fun time. Like Ronnie said this morning, everybody, and you did this, you always remember everything that happens at a regional or a super regional, and in your case, in Omaha at the College World Series. And, of course, Ronnie made that trip a couple of times too. So it's going to be fun for LSU. I think they're going to have a lot of fans over there. It's a beautiful ballpark. Have you ever been to Pete Taylor Park?
Yeah, well, I have, and I never played there, I don't believe, TK, but when I was coaching, when I was doing the Circa Marucci White Sox with Ron Rantz as the assistant coach, we made a trip to Southern Miss and played some games. And I take that back. We did play there. What am I thinking? We played there one of the years at LSU. I probably don't remember, TK, because I didn't actually play, but I did go to the ballpark. But yes, we played there, and I coached there a summer league, so I'm familiar with it. Great little college town, and they're going to be fired up to be hosting a regional and having one of the premier programs, if not the best baseball program in the country, coming to your ballpark.
Buzzy, I'm so old. When we played at Southern Miss, when I was playing for Southeastern, the field was on the other side of the campus. It's not even near where it is now. So that's how old I am. But hey, Buzzy, I appreciate you joining me on a Friday afternoon. Are you on Sports Shorts Radio tomorrow morning?
I'm not. Got to take care of some stuff on the weekend, but I don't know where the big guy is. Are you going to be there?
I'm going to be on the phone running a USSSA tournament over there at Revo Park in Port Allen. So I'm going to do the phone segment at 11 a.m. Of course, Sports Shorts Radio, 10 a.m. to 12 noon right here on the station. Buzzy, great to talk to you. We'll do it again soon.
All right. Good to talk to you.
All right. That's Buzzy Haydel. I'm Tommy Krysan, filling in for Matt Moscona after further review right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
AFR. If you are even thinking about selling your home, I'm going to give you a phone number. I'm going to give you the only phone number that you will need. I'm going to give you Darren James's phone number. It's Darren's cell. Like, you can call this number, you can text this number, and you are literally calling or texting the phone number that Darren James has in his pocket or on his hip. I'm talking about the realtor that sells more homes than anybody. A guy on the Wall Street Journal is listed the top 1,000 realtors in America based on the number of homes sold. You ready? 335-7666. 335-7666 or agent225.com. Of course, you can go to the website, agent225.com. If you need to sell your home, you need to maximize your return on the home, you want a hassle-free, pleasant experience, you need Darren James. 335-7666 or agent225.com. If you need to sell your home, you need Darren James. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $5,000 off the new 2022 Wagoneer. We have Wagoneers in stock with $5,000 off. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Visit Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
An official sports betting partner of the NBA. And all throughout the NBA playoffs, of course, the finals are almost upon us. All throughout the NBA playoffs, remember, bet just $5 on any NBA playoff game. And if the team you bet on wins, they'll give you $150 in free bets, boom, instantly. But you got to use the promo code Baton Rouge. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Again, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Bet just $5 on an NBA playoff game. If it hits, you get $150 in free bets. Also, if you're not a new customer, same game parlays. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. If one of your legs doesn't hit, no worries. They'll refund you $25 in a free bet only at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the promo code Baton Rouge. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions. Licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-7-STOP.
We continue with AFR. I'm Tommy Krysan, pinch hitting for Matt Moscona. Here on this Friday afternoon, we'll be here till 6 o'clock. Of course, then it'll be LSU and Kennesaw State. I can tell you that Southern Miss beat Army 2-0 earlier today. If LSU wins, they get Southern Miss. Also, just finishing up, Vanderbilt has lost. San Diego beat Vanderbilt 3-2. Right now, I'm joined by a guy we do a lot of radio stuff together on Sports Shorts Daily and other things, Joel Davis. Joel, good afternoon. How are you?
What's up, TK? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Have you had a good week, Joel?
One of the best. I mean, look. It's good to be Joel Peter-Baboo. I got to be honest with you. You know, business is good. Job is good. Radio's good. We're getting closer and closer to the NBA draft. The Golden State Warriors lost. The Tigers play tonight. I mean, dude, this is good stuff. Great day to be alive.
Joel, on a scale of 1 to 10, what number do you give the Rantz the Night Away extravaganza last Saturday night?
Coach, that was – he did – I'll be honest with you, man. Ronnie hit a grand slam with that party. I mean, he did it. Whoever he laid responsibilities on, probably his mom, did a phenomenal job, dude. I mean, I don't know which was my favorite part. Was it can I say some of the things that happened there? I mean, the debauchery that was at that party?
Yeah, you could.
Okay, so I don't know what my favorite part was. Maybe it was the naked chick laying in the meats, or the 10-foot tall dancing Prince. Prince, the singer, not Prince from Europe. But the dude that was, whoever the Prince dude was, whatever they paid him wasn't enough. He was so good, and he was so entertaining. But the party on a scale from 1 to 10, I thought was like a 15.
You know, everybody that came up to me and said, hey, do I have the best costume? I said, no, the girl laying on a table does.
I mean, who was the dude or the chick or the person? I mean, if Mom put the party on, was she the one that said, you know what, we need a naked chick laying in meat?
I don't know. We're going to have to do some research on that because I'm not.
That was incredible.
I'm not sure. But no, there were a few too many pictures of Ron all over the place. But, you know.
Dude, Ronnie, yeah. The only thing that was missing was a 40-foot blow-up doll of Ronnie in the corner of the varsity, because everywhere else you looked, there was his face. Yeah, it was like wallpaper. in that place. So yeah, the party was great. You know, the interesting figures, the interesting entertainment that was there. The bands were amazing. I thought Ronnie should have gotten on the stage and sang sooner. I didn't make it to his first song. We were out of there by I don't know.
Yep.
I think we left at 10:45 or 11. You know, it was just time. It was just time. I was totally drunk. I didn't drive. Wife drove, so that was good. But she said, it's enough of you. Time to take you home.
Well, I'll tell you this. I've said this forever, and people laugh like crazy when I say this, and you know this, but Ronnie's favorite singer is Ronnie.
Oh, yes.
So,
Of course.
and he did a great job. It was a phenomenal band. It had like 11, 12 people in, it looked like an orchestra up there. And
it sounded perfect.
And he did great. It's like he rehearsed with him, maybe. I got to research that, too.
Are you kidding me?
But no, you're right. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 15. No, it was an incredible event. Saw a lot of people I hadn't seen in a while. I knew just about everybody in there, I believe. And, of course, I know Ronnie's family because Ronnie and I go back, over 25 years. So, so it was really, really a spectacular event. It'd be tough for somebody to throw a birthday party that tops that. I'm sure it could be done, but it would be tough.
Well, maybe not in Baton Rouge. And, maybe if you go to New York or California, an L.A. party. But it was a party of who's who. Ronnie got a lot of people there that have some, established names in the sporting world and in the acting world and this, that, and the other. There was a lot of people that you knew or know who they were, played big-time ball. So, yeah, it was overall whoever didn't show. If you could have gone and you didn't go, you messed up. By the way, the girl, the naked girl in the meets, how long do you think she lasted? An hour? 2 hours? She didn't make it very long.
No, she was there a good while from what I remember. I mean, I was, it was an open bar, and I had a driver, so I wasn't worried about the drinking and driving thing. But I think she was there more than an hour, for sure.
It was a little uncomfortable grabbing the meats. Because you had to make eye contact, and that was a little oogie for me. I felt like I was staring her up and down,
Well, you were.
I mean, if a man had to eat some ham, you had to eyeball her. It's like, what do? You can't look at the rest of her. You had to look directly in her eyes. Now, you step back, and as you're eating your meat, at that point, you could kind of take a gaze of the entire, the entire table.
Joel.
Yeah, very good job, Ronnie, if you're listening.
Joel, did you watch any of the Warriors and Celtics last night? And if
I watched it all, dude.
Have you ever seen a fourth quarter like that, like the Celtics did?
Unreal.
In the NBA Finals? I'm sure it happened somewhere in February one year, but in the Finals.
Well, I mean, Horford, dude, hello, I'm 38, and I'm going to take over the game. I mean, are you kidding me? What an incredible, inspiring moment for him to be back home, on the team that he wants to be on, to be in his first finals ever, and to carry the team late. I thought the second quarter and the fourth quarter were the difference for the Celtics, because in the first quarter, Steph Curry couldn't miss. I mean, the dude was like 6'7" or 6'9" or 6'7" or 6'8". I don't remember what it was exactly. I'm not a savant when it comes to statistics. All I know is the dude wouldn't miss. He scored 21 points in the first quarter, and you thought it was going to be your typical NBA game, which was going to be a blowout. And then in the second quarter, he didn't score 8 points, and the Celtics actually took the lead going into half. I think it was 53-51, somewhere around there. It was like a 2-point lead. And then the third quarter came out, and again, the Warriors just are blowing the roof off again. They're coming out hot. They take a 10-point lead, 11-point lead in the third quarter. Steph is hot again. And then you think that, okay, another NBA blowout. And then the fourth quarter arrived. And you're like, who are these guys? I mean, the Celtics, you knew that they had a good defense. You knew that they were going to give the Warriors some trouble. But you didn't see Horford doing what he did. You never saw that coming.
Well, and they'll play again on Sunday, game 2. I don't know why it has 2 days off, but, I guess they have their reasons. It is the NBA Finals and all that good stuff.
They got to let their old knees rest up, Coach. I mean, they got to.
Speaking of resting up, Zion Williamson of your Pelicans has been totally cleared to resume any and all basketball activities.
Let's go, baby! Woo-hoo! Isn't that typical? The season's over and he's clear.
Well, let's see if he's still clear when we get to November. That'd be a good thing to watch.
He's got to be clear, dude. I don't know
if you saw this, but Charles Barkley tore him to pieces in an interview with saying, "Hey, dude, you need to get a chef. You need to take care of your body if you're going to want to play in all the money they're paying you and what your next contract could be." I hope that message gets to Zion some way or the other. And I don't think Barkley was being mean. I think he was being realistic.
He was being honest.
Yeah, really.
Is there anybody more honest on TV than Charles Barkley? I mean, the dude just says what he wants to say. That's why everybody loves him, because he doesn't hold back. He, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. He's going to tell you how he feels. And I would think the majority of the public agrees with him. And Zion does need to do all that. I mean, think about this. Look what's around him. Where else can he go right now? Unless it's a team, a makeshift team, unless you go to the Celtics, unless you go to the Warriors or something like that, you're not going to go to the Knicks and have a potential that the Pelicans have. Where are you going to go and fit in perfectly with what your team wants to do and what's around you? It's the Pelicans. Now, he's going to have to agree to a contract, that it's not going to be fully guaranteed. Now the Pelicans actually have a little bit of leverage here because they actually have the pieces in place to potentially be playing in an NBA Finals next year or going at least deep into the playoffs. Experience has a lot to do with that. So He's going to want to be there. So he's going to have to bend a little bit to this contract. And I don't think that the Pelicans should guarantee him 5 years, $200 million, and not have some sort of injury clause in there that has something to do with the current injuries he had.
They're going to do that. They have to do that, and he's going to have to agree to that. It's still more money than he needs, but it is what it is. Hey, Sports Short.
He hasn't done anything, TK.
No, he's not. He's been a flop to date. Okay.
Well, I don't go as far as saying a flop. I mean, injuries happen.
Okay, he's been a disappointment to date.
Well, I mean, coming from a Pelicans, because I'm a huge Pelicans fan. I was a Hornets fan before they were the Pelicans. So, coming from a fan that pays attention, I am not disappointed in Zion. Am I like, man, it'd be really nice for him to play, but injuries happen. This happened to Embiid. I mean, and he didn't play any for 2 years. And then his third year, he barely played. And look what that dude's doing.
I got you. Hey, Joe, Sports Shorts Radio is tomorrow 10 a.m. to 12 noon right here on the station. Are you part of that show tomorrow? I think you are.
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow, TK. Is Ronnie going to be there so we can?
I don't know. You're in hour number one. I'm gonna be on the phone at 11 a.m. I'm not an in-person thing, so tomorrow, but I will be on in the 11 o'clock.
Where's the show? I still don't know where the show is.
It's right by Woodenhaven Furniture, Calandro's on Government.
Okay, we're going to Calandro's on Government.
Yeah, I was giving that info a little later today. Sports Shorts Radio tomorrow, 10 to 12. Joel Davis, thank you for your time. Have a wonderful evening.
All right, TK. You too, buddy.
Also, don't forget Hold the Rope Radio Sunday nights, 7 to 9 p.m. right here on the station. Skip Burtman, Dan Canterbury, and myself. Hold the Rope Radio Sunday night, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We're going to move to a break, come back with the final segment of After Further Review. Again, I'm Tommy Krysan, pinch hitting for Matt Moscona. I'm glad to be here, glad to have you there. We're back after this pause on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
AFR. Rouse's is the official supermarket of LSU Athletics and the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. So if it's game day or any day, always get by Rouse's. Locations all over the state of Louisiana. You can find that location nearest you at rouses.com, rouses.com. We shop at Rouse's, love Rouse's. If it's going to get groceries, things even like formula for Drew or our everyday needs that you'd find at a grocery store, or if it's something like Sunday after church, we pop in. We love to go over to the market side of it. We love to go get the brisket and the sides that we love to do for lunch or dinner, grab-and-go options, sushi and seafood. They've got it all at Rouse's. If you're throwing a party, they've got all your party trays and desserts, and, of course, a great selection of local craft beer, all the domestics, large wine, and liquor selection as well. That is at Rouse's, where they have delivery and pickup options also. So order on the Rouse's app or at rouses.com. They'll bring it out to you. It's Rouse's, where this feels like home.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
We continue with AFR. Tommy Krysan pinch hitting for Matt Moscona. I'm glad to be here. Glad to have you there. Final segment. Couple of minutes or so left for you. And then, of course, it's LSU, Kennesaw State. 3 other Louisiana teams in action. Southeastern's at Auburn, playing against Auburn. Louisiana Lafayette will be in College Station to take on TCU, and Louisiana Tech is over in Austin to take on Dallas Baptist. A lot of chalk has won earlier today. A little bit of rain in Statesboro, Georgia, and down in Coral Gables, which is the regional paired up with Hattiesburg. Ole Miss and Arizona won't play till tomorrow with the weather situation down there. So a couple of regionals having a few raindrops, as they say, and they'll have to dance around those as well. So we'll see. And earlier today, Southern Miss beat Army 2-0. If LSU wins, it'll be Southern Miss tomorrow night. LSU will throw Mikel Hilliard tonight. That's who I would have selected to pitch, but obviously nobody cares what I think, and it doesn't matter what I think. But earlier today on Sports Shorts Daily with Ronnie Rantz, I said if it was up to me, I'd go with Hilliard. You got to win this game, then you worry about the next one. Teams that say, hey, we're going to save somebody, we're going to get cute here, more times than not, that does not work. Sometimes it does, but that's too big of a risk in the NCAA tournament, in my opinion. Now, if you want to do that back in March on a weekend series to give a guy an extra day or something, that's a whole other story. So we'll see how that unfolds. Hey, don't forget the Baton Rouge Rougarou. Some of those games will be here on the station going forward, but they open up at home Tuesday night at Pete Goolsby Field. Go to brrugeroo.com, get your season tickets, get your merchandise. And I had a question today. They'll have lots of merchandise for sale at the games at Pete Goolsby Field, so we want you to check that out. You got Sports Shorts Radio tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Ronnie Rantz, Joel Davis. I'll be on at 11 a.m. tomorrow. I'm working a USSSA baseball tournament, so I'll be via the phone for a segment at 11 o'clock tomorrow. And then, of course, Sunday night. Now, if LSU's playing Sunday night, which is a possibility, make sure you follow Hold the Rope on Facebook. We may make a change with that show if LSU's playing that night. Spoke with Dan Canterbury about that this morning. But if LSU's not playing that night, you'll have Hold the Rope Radio 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on the station. Also, don't forget about my podcast, Talking Sports with TK, available on all the major platforms. I have a LSU Kennesaw State preview there, but obviously that's out of date in the next 10 minutes. But lots of stuff there. Chin Music, our podcast about Major League Baseball. Just passed 40,000 listeners on the podcast, so that's pretty cool. Appreciate everybody. It's available on all the platforms. Just search for Talking Sports with TK or connect with me on social media, and you'll always have a link. Tommy Krysan, Krysan, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And by the way, if you're on TikTok, I'm the oldest dude on TikTok. Look for Talking Sports with TK on TikTok if you're doing that as well. Well, it's been a lot of fun. I got the call earlier this afternoon to see if I was available. I said, yeah, I could do that from 5 to 6 and pinch hit on After Further Review, one of the best shows in the business, no question about that. Backing it up, I want to thank Damon Sunde of the Southeastern Lions Radio Network and Sports Information Department. He joined me at the beginning of this hour to get you ready, set for the Lions against the Auburn Tigers. Also want to thank Buzzy Haydel for joining me, and Joel Davis. He's always different and exciting with Joel, so we do appreciate that as well, too. Appreciate my guys pushing all the buttons, doing everything here at the radio station to make me sound good, which is hard to do. Hope everybody has had a wonderful week and hope you have a great weekend. Lots of scoreboard watching coming up. I'm going to be doing that for the NCAA tournament. It's a fun time to be a baseball fan. I'm Tommy Krysan. I appreciate you listening. Thank you, everybody out there. ESPN, Baton Rouge.
AFR. Love telling you about GMFS Mortgage because I love telling you about great people that can help you change your life financially. That's what GMFS Mortgage does every single day. GMFSmortgage.com. Maybe it's helping you as a family build wealth by realizing the American dream of home ownership. You own your own home. You start to build equity in that home. You start to build wealth. GMFS Mortgage can help you do that. Maybe you own your home, and with the economy doing what it's done here in the last year plus, you've had to tighten the belt a little bit. 7% inflation? My goodness. What if you could lower your monthly mortgage payment? Do you essentially give yourself a raise by lowering how much you pay every month on your mortgage? You can do it by refinancing your mortgage. When we refinanced our mortgage, we skipped 2 payments because of how they scheduled closing. What if you could skip 2 mortgage payments and lower your monthly mortgage payment? That would absolutely help you financially. GMFSmortgage.com. They can help. Find a local loan officer nearest you at GMFSmortgage.com. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care. It's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, Front-to-Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front-to-Back Boat Service.